change in your
Do you need more wrestling action in your life? Can't get enough and need more? Then check out Koi D's Purple Hippo channel on YouTube. Go now and see PCW for yourself. Well, wait till the show is over, then go check it out. Or get your phone out and take a screenshot. Press the buttons now, quickly. Watch PCW whenever you want on YouTube. Here's the link, go now. Or take a screenshot and witness PCW firsthand. See the brutal matches, witness the carnage in the ring. PCW is a certified BLW partner. Quickly take a screenshot before the commercial's over.
Welcome, y'all, back to this here BRW Banks Regime Wrestling. I am your host, Mr. Richard Long, the Lady Destroyer, and I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Showman Wright. Here. Showman
How
here.
are you doing today, Richard?
I'm
I'm feeling pretty dang good myself.
That's mighty fantastic there, Mr. Showman. Now, Showman boy, listen here. Listen here. This here boy's name, Mr. Jack Mehoff. Like, his parents are. Now,
This
that's...
man can jack me off anytime.
I bet that boy ruins a lot of socks here. Now, listen here, Showman. This here boy challenged Mr. Payne on his very first day on this here show, coming out interrupting the flow of my show. So I said, you know what? Mr. Payne is going to get Mr. Jack Mehoff here into the ring, and he's making his way down to this here ring, and here Payne will be coming here shortly.
Well, you know, Richard, one thing that I was noticing when I was looking at this here card is Mr. Jack is a young rookie who has done very well for himself on the indie scene. Okay? Now, Mr. Banks brought him in because of his success in the ring during the indies run. But you got to think, when going up against a veteran like Mr. Payne, is Jack confident that he can actually pull this win off? Or is he just going to get run over like every other victim that has stepped into the ring with Payne?
I think he's going to get his ass whooped here, sir. The only thing he did that was useful was rubbing that skull in the middle of that there ring for luck. Now, that might help him. It might be beneficial to his cause. But as you could see, Mr. Payne is making his way to the ring here. And Mr. Payne has been waiting all week for this, because Mr. Payne does not like it when you talk shit to him. And I hope Mr. Mehoff... Mr. Mehoff, I'm sorry, Showman, that the shit's... Can you imagine having that boy's name, Mr. Jack Mehoff, going to school every day? What the kids must have said to that boy? Someone needs to slap his mother. What you think about that?
That man literally went through as much shit as a man that had nothing but Taco Bell for 2.5 weeks in a row. Okay, and that's a lot of shit to go through.
It is a lot of shit, Showman. You know how I get when I eat them there tacos. They give me the bad indigestion. But anyways, our referee here, Mr. Peterson, who's over there on the side there, should be getting in this here bell after this here ring. I can't talk, Showman, shit. Get in this here ring.
One thing I do want to point out to you, Richard, is I don't know if you noticed or not, but Mr. Payne went and tried to take a sip of his water with that mask on. How in the hell does he expect to get any of that water in his mouth with the mask covering it up?
I think he has some slots in there to get the tap water in. Maybe he just doesn't care and just wanted to pour it on himself. Who knows?
Oh, you know what, Richard? Don't even get me started on those slots. Okay? I used to be a gambling man. You know this. We went through Vegas together.
Yeah,
and I always lost with the slots.
We in Vegas now, sir, so I'll keep you away from them there slots, especially Connor's. Now...
Oh, my goodness. Connor's slot?
Okay, Mr. Showman, you're going to get us in trouble with Mr. Banks here, so I have a quick question for you, Mr. Showman. Now, I reported last week here that you had a proctologist appointment with Mr. Ralph the Wreckham Wrecker, and I have some questions about that. One, how did that go? Because Mr. Ralph the Wreckham Wrecker, as you know, is signed here, and we will be seeing him in action later. How did your appointment go, and how was you feeling, and did he do a good job or not? Because supposedly he's called the Rectum Wrecker because the man supposedly has large hands, from what I heard, saw.
Well, let me tell you, Richard, I went into this appointment expecting a regular doctor with regular hands. And boy, was I surprised when this man put a glove on a hand that was bigger than your head.
Shit, it was as big as my head? Lord have mercy.
My ass is in a lot of pain. Okay, I'm literally sitting in this chair. I don't know if you can look over and notice, but I got a donut under my ass.
Oh, I see that there donut there. Alright, but anyways, Mr. Peterson rung the bell here on Mr. Mehoff going for a drop kick right off the bat there. And that was a fine drop kick, if I do say so myself here.
That was a perfectly executed drop kick.
It
perfect.
Was Mr. Payne trying to get him in a figure 4 leg lock here. But
Now,
apparently,
if you notice the size difference, Mr. Mehoff right there on that reversal with that kick to the groin, he's showing his size and his agility over Mr. Payne and his large size.
he definitely has very quick fingers from what I've seen there. He's definitely working Payne pretty hard there. That
Well,
drop
if you look,
kick.
he's starting to get into a roll right now. He's really stroking it.
Shit, Showman, I see what you're doing there. He's working that. He's working Payne pretty quick there. Mr. Payne apparently is resisting his motions there and going for the maneuvers. Mr. Payne is like, I seen your maneuver, so and I'm not impressed. I'm gonna throw you on over here. And he's getting ready to throw him out of the ring here. Mr. Payne throws him outside the ring here, and he gets ready to. Mr. Payne goes in the ring and decides he is gonna go look for a weapon of some sort. But it was too slow because Mr. Mehoff got a firm grasp there with two hands on Mr. Payne's head there.
Well, if you happen to notice, Mr. Payne is doing everything he can to keep this quick man grounded.
Yes, I see that. But Mr. Mehoff's a slippery fella. Looks like he got a lot of oil and lubrication now going on him with that baby oil all over his skin, so that Payne can't firmly grasp him.
Now, speaking of baby oil, I don't know if you noticed or not, but he is mighty slick today. I think he might have borrowed that from Yuri.
It's a possibility. I heard Mr. Yuri likes the baby oil. That is what Mr. Banks told me, that they had a match one time and he whooped him because he used that baby oil as a strategic advantage over him, which is actually a very clever idea, because if you can't firmly grasp your opponent with your hands, you can't perform a maneuver of some sort.
Well, see, Mr. Payne here, he's actually playing it smart. If he can't get a hold of Mr. Mehoff with his hands, he's going to have to go to his teeth.
That is a good yes. I agree wholeheartedly with that, Mr. Shawman. Mr. Mehoff grabbed the Payne firmly with two hands and is marching him around the ring, parading him in front of everyone, showing everybody what he got there. And then the way
Mr. Mehoff is stroking, there's only a matter of time before he erupts all over Mr. Payne.
Oh, he's definitely gonna erupt all over Mr. Payne here. It's just a matter of when he pulls out, when he decides it's time to do his finisher. When you see him squatting down there in the ring and like looking at Mr. Payne, you know he's getting close to finish up in here. But let's see, he might be getting ready to finish now, but it looks like he's looking for the crowd approval here. And
now, one thing I can say about Mr. Mehoff is, if you've noticed, he's not no 1 minute man like I am. He's actually going and going and going. Any woman would be shocked to have a man of his caliber.
Just don't keep him away from Connor. The boy's young. We don't want to ruin him this early by letting him meet Connor. Like a woman.
No. I'm telling you,
Connor, that woman. Oh, that was a great two-handed action now by Mr. Mehoff. Did you notice how he firmly whacked Payne upside the tip of his head with both hands firmly, right at the tip there? Payne's.
Well, if you notice, there's plenty ahead for Mr. Payne there.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's just going away. It's so shiny, I could see my future in it.
I could see my future in it too. Lord have mercy, Mr. Payne. That's a shiny head you got there. Might have found one too, if I do say so myself here. Mr. Payne, though, however, has turned the tides on Mr. Mehoff and appears to be mounting an offensive here. But will it be enough for Mr. Mehoff to slow him down and interrupt what he had got started up in here?
Well, if you notice, Mr. Payne has been doing everything he can to actually keep this man on the ground, like I mentioned earlier. However, with the agility of Mr. Mehoff, it's hard to say if Mr. Payne can keep that up.
That is true. He is, like I said, he's slippery. You could see he's got that baby oil all over him. Mr. Payne, though, executing a Hurricane Rana inside the ring there. Looks like he's getting ready to perform some sort of flying elbow drop maneuver here, but off the mid rope here. Mr. Peterson giving him a quick count here. Payne's getting all excited.
Oh, Mr. Payne, don't be showing that on live TV. We're PG.
Lord have mercy. This is a family show, Mr. Payne. keep that in. You know, we don't need to see that there. There are old ladies in the audience here that, especially
Oh,
Connor.
and if you notice, here goes Mr. Payne setting up a beautiful second rope drop.
Yeah, so the beautiful second rope drop there. So Mr. Mihov, however, has clearly gotten back on the offensive here, and he appears to be looking for something outside the ring here. It looks like he's going under. He's pulling the apron up and taking a peek under there, and he's pulling out an object of some sort, a really long one at that. Here, he's gotten the upper hand.
If you've noticed, Richard, Mr. Payne has been on the offensive for so long that it was about time for Mr. Mihov to reach that power of PP positivity.
Lord have mercy! Did you see how he did that reach around there on Payne? That is impressive, so.
I haven't seen a reach around like that since the party in 1955.
That was a good party. I remember that one. Yeah, that was a good one. That was the one with it was outside with all those olives and everyone was dressed like a bunch of. Yeah, I remember that party. Mr.
And
Payne,
I happen to remember. Oh, Mr. Payne going for the pin here.
Mr. Payne
And a kick out.
Kick out there. Mr. Mihov, however, got a hold of Payne's arm there, trying to tear it out the socket with some sort of arm finisher there. Mr. Payne.
Now, I haven't seen an arm move like this since Mr. Lesnar put the Kimura lock on Mr. Triple H years ago.
Mr. Mihov going to the bottom rope there for a low rope jump there. However, he missed, but he recovered quickly, and he got a hold of Payne there in front of the crowd there. But however, it looked like, yep, Mr. Payne down here. Now, I'm surprised here. Mr. Mihov is performing as well as he did. I thought this little guy was all talk last week. I'm going to be honest with you, but apparently he's making Payne work for it. He making Payne work for it hard.
I did tell you earlier during the match that Mr. Mihov has been on a roll on the indie scene, and that's why Mr. Banks brought him in.
Yeah, listen here, Showman. I know you pay attention more to the indie scene than me. I haven't heard of Mr. Mihov until last week. It was the first time I seen him. Now, he made me chuckle a little bit because he called Payne out, and him and Payne had quite the exchange last week. But Mr. Mihov going for the submission here. Mr. Peterson, however, says he doesn't tap out here. And Mr.
Now, see, Mr. Peterson is new to me. I've never seen this man in the ring before. The only time I've seen him was at concessions when he was getting nachos.
Yeah, Mr. Peterson has issues counting, as do all the referees from the referee union school for some reason here. See, he was running laps during our, I'm sure you saw episode 0 and that slanderous robot talking bad things about you. And I want you to know, Showman, I defended you. And I know you had them antennas, but I know that Connor is the real problem here. And Mr. Payne is leaking from the hands of Mr. Mihov all over. He better not be getting none of them bloods on that carpet. Mr. Banks will fine you if you bleed on his carpet.
1, 4.
I think there was a 17 there, but anyways, back to Mr. Peterson here. All these here refs come from these schools, and they like to do silly things like run laps around the ring before they decide to count, get on their cell phones before they count. And Mr. Peterson is no different from what I've seen. However, last week Mr. Embalmer made Mr. Banks have him sign a contract so that Mr. Banks couldn't fire him. So it looks like they up to their old tricks here.
Well, I can tell you one thing. In my old age, you can bet your bottom ass that I would not be running around that ring. Because I can't run.
I can't run either, Showman, especially since Connor whacks me. She wakes me good too. I still feel the pain. I don't ever think I'm gonna be able to grow my back hair back as glorious and magnificent as it once was in those spots. I think I'm gonna be permanently bald there. That woman yanked them hairs out. Mr. Payne got the head of Mr. Mihov and he's twisting him around. But is it enough? No, sir. This is an amazing match here, though. I do have to say so myself here.
I can say without a doubt that I am very impressed with how this match is going.
Mr.
I never expected a rookie to put up this much of a fight for Mr. Payne.
However, Mr. Mihov comes out with the victory here. he pulled some kind of reach around move on Mr. Payne when he wasn't looking, and he got him good, and I am surprised, Mr. Payne. Anyways, here, Mr. Payne here is going to that there dumpster division, and Mr. Mehoff, however, here will be heading to our Universal division, which I am mighty surprised about that here. Mr.
Well,
Mehoff,
I did tell you the success that he's reached on the indie scene has definitely put him at the top of his game. And like I said, I am completely shocked that he was able to pull a reach around over on Mr. Payne.
he definitely pulled a reach around. Mr. Mehoff showing everyone the hand that brought him the victory here. Anyways, here, that is it for our first match on episode 2 of our Banks Regime Wrestling here. We shall be back here after these here sponsors.
Are you constantly waking up drenched in your bed, soaked because you didn't make it to the bathroom? Do those dreams of relaxing in the ocean often lead to an ocean of pee in your pants? Do I have a product for you? Sherman Wright's Dependable Depends, the preferred nighttime underwear for the elderly and medically diagnosed incontinent. If they would have slapped one of these bad boys on the Bilberry Reservoir, it would have stopped the Great Dam failure in 1852. Are you in the money in the bank and you can't hold your bladder while climbing up that ladder? Sherman Wright's Dependable Depends may be just right for you.
Like, does someone, like, owe you money or not paying you their cut of rent or a payment for, like, their car or something? Well, I, like, totally have a solution for that problem. Call 1-800-HKB-BANK now, and I'll, like, totally get your stuff and or, like, money back. And I'll even send those, like, deadbeat thieves to the ER extra free of charge by breaking, like, their kneecaps. Like, this is totally a testimonial from a kid or somebody, like who sold his bike or something. I don't remember, but, yeah, take his word for it.
Yeah, so I sold my bike to this guy for $50 and he ripped me off and only gave me 25 and said he'd give me the other 25 later. So I called Miss Harmony after a day or two and she tracked him down and got me $75 back, and she whooped his ass and took pictures and he went to the emergency room.
Alright, I'm kind of ashamed of what I did now. I see the error of my ways. I tried to rip this kid off for his bike because I was late for work. Then Miss Harmony showed up and she stomped my ass into the ground. And she made me give her $200. She gave the kid $75 and I guess she kept the rest. And she's making me make this video where she said she would break my fingers too. Is that good, Miss Harmony? Is that good? Please don't break my fingers. I'll totally do anything you say. Here, was that good? I'll re-record this if you...
So, like, call now. I totally get results and stuff. That's 1-800-HKB-BANK. That's 1-800-HKB-BANK. Call now, and I'll break their kneecaps for free.
One.
Like, this is only limited to the U.S., unless you, like, pay for my travel expenses. But, this is totally not a real phone number, and if you want to call it, that's on you. Toodles!
Welcome back here. Now, Miss Harmony had some words here at the beginning of this here show about Miss Vanessa's son here. Here comes Miss Harmony. Lord have mercy. Look how good she looked. Now, Richard, I took my Viagra. At least Mr. Peterson sold me some bad Viagra, and I can tell you this. I hope you didn't take your Viagra here, Richard, because if you did so, Miss Harmony could possibly kill you here, sir, because she's been known to do that here.
Now, I do want to say that Miss Harmony talked a lot of stuff, okay, at the beginning of the show. And in my opinion, I think Miss Vanessa has this one in the bag. I think Miss Harmony's so confident that she's going to end up messing up and losing this match. She she speaks of nothing but pure perfection. And that's going to cost her this here match.
Now, Miss Harmony, I just realized, Showman, I said my name. Miss Harmony does things to a man's mind, and you forget your name and shit. Miss Harmony works hard, and I'll tell you what, she is looking like she is in a good mood today, Saw, which is good on her end. I think this here Vanessa with this here bag on her head or whatever, I think she a cheater. She up to no good here. Miss Harmony, she has to have everything perfect, and everything has been perfect for her. I got her mocha the correct way for her. I carried her bags in. I got her picked up on time. She is fantastic. I made sure everything was her, because not only am I the GM here, Mr. Showman, Harmony allows me to be her chauffeur here, and I'm making sure, as a Harmony fan, that Harmony is in a good mood here, so.
Well, you know, you got to make your money some way, because I don't know if you noticed the amount of time and effort put into this arena by Mr. Banks. It had to cost a pretty penny, and I can almost guarantee that we're not getting paid half as much as we should to do this here announcement.
Oh, Showman, you just whining here, so Mr. Bank paying us a good, mighty fine good money here. This here show hasn't got up, and this here show is getting up and running here, so I'm sure he'll give us a raise here at some point, probably not. But, you know, Mr. Banks take care of us here at BRW here. Now, look at that cheetah. Only a cheetah would come out in the dark like that, so I think Miss...
What you're saying, Richard, is that Mr. Banks is dependable, correct?
Yes, sir, Mr. Showman, sir.
Alright, so Mr. Banks is dependable. Just
look
like
at
my
Miss Harmony.
own brand of Dependable Depends that you can buy at any store for $5.99.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say, Showman, congratulations on being the spokesperson for Dependable Depends for the elderly and mentally incognate here. Those Dependable Depends, I don't personally wear those yet. Because I'm younger than you by a few years still, so I haven't had that issue yet. However, look at Miss Vanessa cheating. Look at them cheating moves. I see nothing but cheating in her eyes, hitting Miss Harmony upside the head that way, y'all.
Bring that up, but I don't see nothing but cheating from Miss Harmony. It's supposed to be a wrestling match, and she's on her back.
Sir, you are clearly mistaken here. Look at the cheating in her eyes. You can just see the cheating up in here in her eyes. Now, Miss Harmony is performing a perfectly legal move here. And if Mr. Peterson had any common sense here, sir, he would have tapped her out. I saw them hands a tapping.
No, she raked her eyes. That is cheating.
So she was trying to remove the cheating from her eyes. That's what she was trying to do here.
I hope Miss Vanessa turns this match around and destroys Miss Harmony.
Miss Vanessa with some rude poses to the crowd here, trying to pull one over on Miss Harmony here. Miss Harmony going for one of her patented neck twister moves with the legs up in there, elbowing her upside her
Richard,
anus.
I just want to point out that even though we are announcers for BRW, we're allowed to have our own opinions, and right now you are being a kiss ass, and this is blasphemy.
This ain't blasphemy. Oh, what a beautiful dumpster buster by Miss Harmony there. Now, sir, I will admit, I am biased towards Miss Harmony. I am a fan of Miss Harmony. She is my favorite wrestler, sir. That is one of the reasons why I took this job, so that I can help Miss Harmony with her crusade of getting more gold here. Now, Miss Harmony, she works very hard, and she under a lot of pressure here, and she doesn't. Let me get my word in, Richard, and then Showman. I get all flustered when Miss Harmony's in my presence. I'll let you speak here. Miss Harmony put a lot of work, and nobody understands how much pressure she's under. She is like a multi-time champion. She has had almost every belt you can think of elsewhere, especially at that Redacted League over yonder there. And I just think people need to appreciate Miss Harmony more and all the work. Oh, Mr. Vanessa, you cheating and using a dumpster buster against Miss Harmony? That's her own move. That is an insult to injury, ma'am. Here.
How dare you call Miss Vanessa Mister? That is clearly all woman.
I apologize for that, Miss Vanessa. That was an accident. I got all flustered there with my vernacular here. I meant to say Miss here.
One thing I do want to point out to you is I'm glad you brought up Miss Harmony's accolades from all around the world. And the one thing that I have to say to that as a retort is she may have won all these titles all over the place, but until she's won a title right here in her home, it don't matter.
You are right about that, Mr. Showman, and she's clearly going to be the first Universal Empress. That there's no doubt in my mind. She's just so good. She got see here, Mr. Peterson, you need to start calling this here match fairly down the middle here. I see the cheating in Miss Vanessa's eyes here. I see the cheating. That's right, Miss Harmony. Don't take her cheating. Get her with that there
What
Hurricane
elbow?
Ranas.
That was clearly an elbow, Richard. Check your glasses.
That wasn't an elbow. That was a Hurricane Rana, sir. You need to learn your wrestling moves, sir.
Now, I know the wrestling moves, I just don't know the right names for them.
Yeah, I had that problem too, Showman. Shit. No.
I was only a manager. That's all. And now
I
here
used
I
to-
am busting my ass sitting in this shitty pen at the announce table.
Miss Harmony, you need to not be cheating. Or no, Miss Vanessa's the cheating now. Miss Harmony, clearly, Mr. Peterson, if you count her out, she is gonna knock you out. Oh, that's right, Mr. Peterson. You better slow down your count a little there. So that was a little quick there, sir.
That was just right. Keep doing your thing.
That's right, Miss Harmony. Don't take her problems. Show this here crowd that you belong in this here universe.
Oh,
Now,
yeah, look, Miss Harmony.
Mr. Showman, sir, this is an Extreme Rules match, sir. Weaponry is allowed here, sir. We all agreed upon that. Miss Harmony is picking up a box of
She's
some
bringing out one
sort.
of those patented Rob Banks wooden chairs.
And she got that wooden chair in the ring here, but it looks like Miss Vanessa cheated her out of her chair. Mr. Peterson I think Mr. Peterson was eyeballing more than if her shoulders were down there. Did you see that from Mr. Peterson? I'm gonna have a talk.
I did.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with Rob about that. Now, Miss Harmony going for a finisher here. Let's see what she does here. Oh, Miss Vanessa, you cheated there, ma'am. I saw what you did there. Oh, she pulling that reach around move there that Mr. Mihov did the pain earlier. I hope Miss Harmony okay, because that move looked mighty painful there. Mr. Peterson going
And here
for
she
the
goes
now.
with
How
the
can he
submission.
see if her shoulders are up? But from that position, any other time that Saw would run all the way around to the other side of the ring to check. But when Miss Harmony is pinned, he just gets down to where her goodies are and just checks them out. Now I saw that, Mr. Peterson. I'm gonna report you to Mr. Banks here, and I'm gonna report you to Miss Harmony here for that. I saw what you done did there. That's Miss Harmony. You show
Now,
her respect, Saw.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, probably. We'll see what happens here.
A beautiful submission.
Except Miss Harmony doesn't tap here. Miss Harmony reversing it though into a figure 4 leg lock, and she going for one of her patented moves here. Beautiful figure 4 leg
What?
lock, Miss Harmony.
Look at that. Miss Vanessa kicked out.
Let's see if Miss Vanessa did kick out here.
See,
Miss
I can
Harmony
tell the
looks
future.
frustrated and figuratively speaking here. She has a right to be, but she's lining up Miss Vanessa again here.
She is clearly
However,
very frustrated by this.
Miss Vanessa there is slippery with her cheating.
She must have baby oil too.
She could have all them that uniform there she has on that look rather slippery. She could have baby oiled that all up there. Miss Harmony is in trouble though, cause Miss Vanessa's been cheating here this whole match. She got cheating in her eyes, but looks like Miss Harmony has turned it around here. She slams her on the head now, right there in front of the Banks Regime Wrestling logo here. And
Now,
as-
just because she slapped in the back of the head does not mean she is back in control here. It's clear Miss Vanessa is just biding her time to allow Harmony to become confident in this here match.
It's a possibility she could be exercising that as a maneuverable strategy there, so. However, I believe in Miss Harmony, unlike you, because Miss Harmony is going to turn this around here. And we'll see which one of them ends up in the dumpster league. Now, I could tell you this, Showman. If Miss Harmony ends up in the dumpster league, Miss Harmony, she going to be coming and commentating with us here, so after this here match here. she is not going to be happy, so especially if she gets cheated out of this here cheater.
Well, I'm just glad that it's her, not Connie, because if Connie comes out them heads,
Oh, Lord have
I
mercy.
gotta run.
Did Miss Harmony tap? Where's Mr. Peterson? Miss Harmony tapping here, but Mr. Peterson nowhere to be seen. Now, I have to say, Vanessa's cheating there. Vanessa technically should have won there, but Mr. Peterson clearly did not see the tap in there, so that obviously clearly does not tap here. So Miss Vanessa...
Well, this might be a ladder match, but everything has to happen inside of the ring. So Miss Harmony was smart to tap outside.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot this here's a ladder match here. However, we haven't seen the ladder yet. That's going to come later. I'm sure Mr. Banks has got that ready to go here. Miss Harmony, though...
What, and I hope my mic cuts out when I say this so I don't get in trouble. But after the show, did you see those solid gold steel steps?
Yes, sir. Those are solid gold steel steps.
After the show, I'm going to take one of them home with me.
I think I'm going to take me one of them there, too, here. Those are mighty fine.
We'll be
looking.
rich.
Yes, sir. Those appear to be... Those are real solid gold. Yes. As long as you can get past that. But you see, Showman, here's the problem here. Do you know who's head of security up in here?
No, I have not received any news on who is placed as head of security.
It's a Mr. Benny Nine, sir. He will not let you get past security, and we already know your situation with him, sir.
That damn robot.
Yeah, now, I heard yesterday he attacked Mr. Banks, and Mr. Banks threw his ass in the dumpster, and now there's security footage of it that was leaked online on their social media thing there. And Miss Harmony...
Who else do you think leaked it?
It's probably that announcer guy I saw. Miss Harmony now Miss Harmony, she drank a little tap water and was on the roof of the arena here before we opened. That announcer guy, Mr. Banks, gave him a camera and he said, "Go find Miss Stories." So Miss Harmony danced on top of the arena here. And that announcer guy, he made that there commercial and he put that up on there. And Mr. Banks and Miss Harmony is furious about that. But, however, he did tell him to find him Stories. So the announcer man here, he just doing his job. And Miss Harmony did dance on that there arena, so.
Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously, he didn't do his job well enough, or else that Spanish announce table would still be full with announcers. He messed up, and we both know it.
Yes.
However,
yes, sir. About the Spanish announce team, so we haven't implemented them here yet. However, we are working on that here, so the Spanish announcers.
Who was I talking to at concessions?
There's probably the concessions guy, so, or maybe Mr. Peterson here. Miss Harmony and Miss Vanessa are just going at it here. Miss Harmony said, "I had enough of your cheating, Miss Vanessa," and she slammed her head into that carpet.
What a cheating move. She grabbed her by the eyes and yanked her to the ground.
So, I explained clearly that Miss Vanessa here has cheating, nothing but cheating and slander in her eyes, and Miss Harmony was just trying to purify her by removing it. That is clearly what is going on here.
Look, another cheating move from Miss Harmony.
That was a legal.
Another one.
That was a legal move. I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Harmony. All I see is Miss Harmony grabbing her arms and kicking her. Now you can't see where she's kicking her because of the way the camera angle there. So I am absolutely positive that I trust Miss Harmony that she will only kick in legal spots there. Mr. Peterson.
Hey, cameraman, move. Go to a different spot in the arena.
If Mr. Peterson would get out of this here ring here and do his job here, Miss Harmony just staring at Miss Vanessa. They're clearly both going at it. They're going to town here. This is a phenomenal match, if I do say so, Mr. Showman.
Now, see, I would say so. This is one of the best matches I have seen to date. Okay? But that's not saying much because, like you said, last week I was getting my colon checked by Mr. Wrecker.
Mr. Red, the Wreckham Wrecker, yes, sir. Now, is it true, Showman? I heard a rumor about him that he never changes his gloves, that he uses the same gloves on everyone in the same appointment, which is why I was a little hesitant to visit his offices for my issue that I don't have, but I wanted to get a checkup, you know, because I wanted to make sure everything healthy and everything. Now, I heard that man likes to use his original gloves from his very first appointment, and he never changed them. Is that true,
I
Saul?
will say, when I walked into that office and seen that lovely shade of brown all over the walls, I just thought that was the decoration. But after you mentioning that he doesn't change his gloves, and me noticing that he had on brown gloves instead of clean blue ones, I'm starting to think that maybe it wasn't decorations.
Saul, that is nasty, Saul. You should get yourself checked from a real doctor here. Not to say that Mr. Ralph is not. He is a 100% certified practicing proctologist here. It's just that his hands is so big, he can't really get patients up in here, so he decided to try his sticking his hands, gloving up and sticking his hands into the cavity of this here wrestling business here.
Now, I will say, because you said he's a licensed practitioner of his job.
Yes, sir.
I
That is
don't
correct.
think, with hands that big, I think he actually worked on a farm as a proctologist for the animals there, and he decided to try his luck with humans.
That
Because
could-
those hands are ungodly.
Damn, Showman. I haven't seen Mr. Ralph the Rectum Record. Oh, Miss Harmony. What a beautiful catch there. And she turns it around to a knee up to the face here, and she blowing kissy faces to the crowd. I see that, Miss Harmony. I'm collecting that kisses from you. Thank you, ma'am. Here. Miss Harmony getting
You disgust
come back
me,
here.
Richard.
Oh, Miss Harmony, that was phenomenal agility here. And this is why Miss Harmony wins lots of matches and has tons of titles around the world. Look at that. There's a beautiful takedown there. I think Miss Harmony getting ready to wrap this here up here.
17. 3.
See there, Showman. I told you Miss Harmony would win this here match. She is clearly universal material here.
No, she clearly cheated.
Oh,
Clearly,
Mr.
a
Showman.
cheat.
Mr. Harmony never cheating. Let's see
Oh, what is this?
what's
Look at
going
the
on
stare
here.
down.
What, Miss C?
The
Look at
opposite
the
hand.
look at the good sportsmanship here. Miss Harmony just wanted a
That's right,
match here.
Vanessa. Slap that hand away. You don't know where it's been.
Miss, you just broke Miss Harmony's heart. She just wanted to fight someone. That's all she said last week, here. She just didn't want to go to her their hospital, and she told her she wasn't playing with her weirdo cosplaying shit and stuff here. Miss Harmony is a professional here, Showman, and that's why Miss Harmony.
Vanessa was clearly injured, and that's why she wore all that stuff on her face. And it affected the match to where she could not win.
Damn, Showman. I think she just Miss Vanessa here. She said she's from the Southern Kingdom or some such. I don't know what that means here. But Miss Harmony wasn't having none of that. She's like, I'm not playing your game, ma'am. Here, she's like, I just want to whoop your ass here. That's about what happened here. Now, Miss Vanessa here got all offended, and Miss Vanessa is also a physician too. And from my understanding,
Wait a minute.
she
Richard,
is.
do you see what I see? Miss Harmony stole my glasses.
She stole your glasses. Yeah, Showman, you have a point there. Those do look strangely like your glasses. Well, they look better on Miss Harmony anyway here. Look how cute she looked with that little flower in her hair and everything here. Now, back to what I was saying. Miss Vanessa, from my understanding, she is our physician here. Now, I don't understand why a physician needs to dress up like a ninja, and I think Miss Harmony found that a little strange too there, but I suppose that's how it goes here. But we will be back here, and we will be joined by Miss Harmony herself going forward here. So let us put you all on a commercial here, and you can continue enjoying our hospitality up in here.
Yes.
Do you need more wrestling action in your life? Can't get enough and need more? Then check out Koi D's Purple Hippo channel on YouTube. Go now and see PCW for yourself. Well, wait till the show is over, then go check it out. Or get your phone out and take a screenshot. Press the buttons now, quickly. Watch PCW whenever you want on YouTube. Here's the link. Go now or take a screenshot and witness PCW firsthand. See the brutal matches. Witness the carnage in the ring. PCW is a certified BLW partner. Quickly take a screenshot before the commercial's over.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to this here Banks Regime Wrestling here. I have been informed Miss Harmony is in the back changing out her wrestling gear, and she will join us here in maybe a match or two here. I am here with Mr. Showman right here. But before I allow Showman to speak here, I have a correction to make. See, there is some miscommunication here with Mr. Corey D here. Now, Mr. Corey D here there is a mix-up whether his name was Mr. Black Corey D or Mr. Black or Corey D, but his name is Corey D here. Mr. Black is his manager, and I would like to apologize on the behalf of Mr. Banks for the mistake we made last week here.
Yes. Now, see, that's one of the things I told Mr. Banks when we first started talking about bringing you in, is that sometimes your memory isn't there. So sometimes you make your little mistakes, Richard. But it is all right. We will definitely get it sorted out for you.
Yes, sir. And it was an innocent mistake here, Showman. I didn't mean nothing by it. I did not mean to disrespect Mr. Corey D. I think he is going to do fine here. Now, Mr. Corey D is a friend of ours from another promotion known as the Purple Hippo Show, as you can clearly see on the side of our ring there. He's making his way out here. Now, him and the Beast here had an exchange of words here last week here. And now we're going to have ourselves a settling of a debt here because they were definitely very angry at each other here. Mr. Beast thinks he's going to be the first Universal Champion up in here. And Mr. Corey D said, no, sir. Not at all, sir. However, who do you think going to win this here, Showman?
Honestly, I think Mr. Corey's going to win this match, okay? Simply because, like you mentioned, the Purple Hippo, okay? Now, later tonight, hopefully we don't have to see her, but I'm kind of feeling like we're going to see the Blue Hippo later tonight, Connie, okay? And when two hippos get together, nothing can stop that. So I think that's why Mr. Corey's going to win here tonight.
That's a very valid point there, Mr. Showman. However, Mr. Beast is a very large man here, and he has said, from my understanding, he has crushed a car with his bare hands, sir. Now, I don't know if I recollectly believe that he did that there, sir, but he said he could do it. And if Mr. Beast say he could do it, Mr. Beast is, look at how large Mr. Beast is there. It's a possibility if Corey gets into, like, more... If Corey needs to fly around the ring and keep his distance and not let Mr. Beast there pin him down. Because if Mr. Beast pins him down and gets into all that technical wrestling now, Mr. Corey possibility may be in trouble here, sir.
Well, I just want to point out, Richard, that size doesn't always matter, okay, when it comes to multiple things, okay? Now, if you noticed earlier in the show...
That's not what Connor said, okay, boy.
Yes, Connie said that, and that's why she chose me, because size doesn't matter. But if you want to go back to near the beginning of the show, we had another size disadvantage with Mr. Mehoff and Mr. Payne, and Mr. Mehoff took out Mr. Payne. Now, you can't always count out the smaller wrestlers, so that's why I think another reason Mr. Corey's going to win is because he is smaller and more agile.
Now, Mr. Beast here has got a hold of Corey here, and he's clearly doing exactly what I said, except Mr. Corey, see. Now, I'm not saying Mr. Corey D can't win. I clearly think he possibly could. I am not taking any credit away from Mr. Corey here. I am just pointing out here that Mr. Beast looked like he could take them golden chairs right there, them chairs right there, and just grab them things and separate them with his hands here. So
now you mentioned earlier Mr. Beast was caught on camera crushing a car. Now I just want to point out that I saw those videos and it was actually a Matchbox car. Because if you see, this man's hands are not as large as Ralph's hands. So I just don't see him crushing the car very easily.
I'm sure he's strong. I believe he may have been exaggerating there a little bit here, but we'll see. Mr. Beast is, like I said, if Mr. Beast gets him on that ring and he can hold him down and perform all them technical submissions and all them grab moves. If he get him in that kind of a fight, Hal Showman, Mr. Corey D will be in trouble because that man is big. Now, Corey can be more agility-like and just fly around the ring and make this more of a street fight. I think Corey D had the upper hand here.
Now, I will agree with you on that, okay? Because, like I said, even though size doesn't matter, when you have the power that Mr. Beast here clearly has, it becomes a dangerous factor for any opponent in the ring.
Now, let me correct you here, Mr. Showman. Now, you say size doesn't matter. We all know I am called the Lady Destroyer here, but that's besides the point here. But I assure you, sir, when you were at your proctologist appointment with Mr. Ralph, the rectum wrecker here, sir, I assure you that size mattered, because he got up in there with his fingers, and he ruined your rectum, sir.
Well, I will agree with you on that. Size does matter when it comes to hands and fingers going into assholes, okay? But
Damn,
I will say, in this match here, I don't believe in a wrestling match that size matters. Power matters. Speed and agility matters.
Yes, sir. We can agree we agree here. I think we on the same page, Showman Boy, but I think we just have a misunderstanding here, and I just don't want it to escalate into a problem. Now, Mr. Corey D, he going under the ring now, seeing what kind of toys under. Oh, there's the ladder. So this here's a ladder match here, and whoever climbed the top of the ladder and get the prize at the top there, gonna be the winner of this here match. And it's looking like Mr. Corey showed Mr. Beast here the ladder here.
Now, I will point out, like I said, when it comes to speed and agility, Mr. Corey is in the match of his life right now. The ladder match is a small wrestler's specialty. He can climb up that ladder quicker than Mr. Beast can, and it'll clearly show once they get it set up.
Yes, sir. I agree with that, sir. So Mr. Corey does clearly have an advantage here, since this is one of them now ladder matches here. Mr. Corey pounding him inside the ring here. Mr. Beast is like, now, I'm going to put you in this hell figure four here.
One thing I would like to point out, Richard, is obviously I chose Mr. Corey as the one that I think is going to win. He's my choice. But I would like to point out that even if he does win this match here tonight, he clearly loses because of that fashion choice of his.
Well, I'm not a man to pick on someone how they dress and all here. My choice clearly is the Beast here, because I think eventually here, Mr. Corey, all he has to do is tank up. Let Mr. Corey, he could use his strategy of trying to turn this into a street fight against him, so, and let him just tire himself out while he absorbs all the punishment and takes a more defensive posture like a tank here, sir. Then Mr. Corey can lay on the ass whooping, and then he can crush his head. Now, I like Mr. Corey D. I talked to the man in the back a few times. I think he's going to be a great competitor here. But, I mean, look at the size of Mr. Beast here. If he exercises the strategic value here, which I professed and diagnosed here, Mr. Beast can clearly come on top here. Now, he could be letting Mr. Corey tire himself out here, but we shall see, sir.
Now, if you notice what Mr. Beast just did was, he just threw Mr. Corey over his head, okay? And that was a higher distance from the ground than if they would have been on top of that ladder.
That's true, sir. That is true, sir. However, if you don't have a leg to stand on, Mr. Corey D could... Oh, Mr. Corey D, I thought you were going for a low blow, that's all. Now,
Mr. Beast is being smart about it. He is targeting Mr. Corey in all the right spots to take that speed and agility away from him. He's playing a waiting man's game, and he's doing a good job of it.
Yes, sir. However, if you get kicked upside the head like that too many times, you ain't going to be able to see straight to execute your moves with precision, sir.
Oh, especially with them fighting on top of that ladder there. Landing on that ladder is not going to feel good.
Yes, sir. They're battling over who get the briefcase here for that there money in the bank there, sir.
Oh, come
However,
on,
they
Mr.
fell off.
Beast. Watch the solid gold steps.
I'm waiting for that boy to just grab them steps and just rip them in half here, and have one in each hand and just start swinging them like a melee weapon here. Mr. Coy is
Now,
in trouble,
I would
though.
like to point out, because I don't know if you've noticed it or not, Richard, but the ring posts in the side of the rings are all fuzzy-like. I just wanted to point out that Mr. Banks put so much money into this arena that he forgot to pay the cable bill, and that's why we got the fuzzies going on.
Actually saw that was done on purpose, saw. If you notice our graphics at the beginning of the matches here, saw, you will notice that when the regime logo pops up, saw, the aesthetic behind it. Now, Mr. Banks liked the aesthetic, and he put his regime logo, because you know Mr. Banks loved his regime logo. He put that thing all over everything. It's on his coat. He has it tattooed on his house. And I'm sure if he has like a cat or a dog or something, Mr. Showman, I'm sure he's got like a regime logo on them too somehow. The man puts it on everything here. So what he was trying to go for with that there ring, what he was telling me when we was setting this all up here, is that he wanted it to look like that little screen that pops up that everyone's familiar with, and that's why it's all staticky like that. So, however,
Mr. Corey playing the mind games with Mr. Beast right there, sitting
yeah,
down
I
in
saw
front of
that
him,
there.
only to take an elbow to the face.
There was a beautiful elbow to the face there. Mr. Beast going for them there drop kicks there. However, he ain't gonna get nothing done fighting over there by that there Spanish announcer table
Now
here.
this is what we've been waiting for right here. A real slobber knocker between these two.
Definitely a barn burner for sure.
High-flying moves, just straight fists and feet.
Definitely so. Mr. Coy going for that chair there, and he got that thing all wound up. And right to the head. That chair right to the head there.
That was a vicious chair shot.
I never
We
seen a
heard it
chair
all the
shot
way
like
up here
that,
at our
sir.
announce table.
That chair shot looked like it was painful. Mr. Beast in trouble. Now, I think if Mr. Corey focus on that man's legs there, if you don't have a leg to stand on, you can't whoop an ass. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Showman?
He grabbed that man up by his face and lifted him off of his behind. Now, that was a true testament to power right there.
Yes, sir. Right in the buttocks, sir. In the glutes, sir. Well, Mr.
Look at this technical power from Mr. Corey. He's playing it smart. He's trying to take the power out of Mr. Beast.
That's how he should be playing it here. Mr. Beast looked like I said, Mr. Beast could easily crush him like a beer can. That's what he was saying last week, sir. That he was going to crush him like a beer can, like to his forehead, sir. However, this here is a wrestling match, not a beer crushing on your head contest here, sir.
What a beautiful drop kick. Catching Mr. Corey off the second rope.
And
planting him.
see there, them drop kicks is mighty lethal here. So,
And it won Mr. Beast the match.
Mr. Coy tried his best to use agility, but at the end of the day, Mr. The Beast here, he got that drop kick in, and he did what I said, boy. He tanked up and took all their punishments, and Mr. Coy just wasn't able to stop it here. Mr. Coy, you have nothing to be ashamed of, sir. That was a fantastic effort on your behalf.
Yes, Mr. Corey, no need to feel dejected or upset. You did what you could against that man.
However, a tournament is a tournament, showman, and as we all know here, Mr. Cordisa, you are in the Dunster division for the remainder of the tournament, while Mr. The Beast here will continue on into the Universal division. I am Mr. Richard Long. I almost said your name, Showman. Gee, boy, I'm getting mixed up. These here lights is hot. We gotta get an air conditioner or something in here, Showman. I might have to hassle Mr. Banks about spending a little money on our comfort here, because these here lights are melting my brain here, so. Now,
You mean to tell me you don't have one of them little fans sitting right next to your chair like mine? Look, it's right here. I can.
I
turn it on
hate
for
you, Showman. I hate you. We'll be back here after these here sponsors here, sir.
Alright, maggots, listen up. The name's Malice, and you mongrels have that committed to memory. You'll never be good enough to get into the ring with the best. So this helium char and the perpetrator, all starting at $49.99. Pick any two and you'll save 10 cents. Available in a variety of colors. So I ask you now, worms, what are you waiting for? Pick your weapon and unleash some mayhem.
Welcome back. Here I am here with my co-host, Mr. Showman, right? See, man, Mr. Showman, this is getting hot in here, and they're doing this here pyrotechnics with this here Malice fella here. I haven't heard much about him.
This damn smoke going on here.
This
it's
smoke is horrible. Now, this here is Malice. I do not know much about him yet, but he looks like a killing machine. Look at that boy. He got horns, he got a lantern, he getting all kinds of armor of some sort. Now, Mr. Banks, when he signs people, he lets them fight however they want. So this here armor was not a problem, but he definitely looks dangerous here.
Now, one thing I want to point out, Richard, is you mentioned all this armor. Now, it could either show that Mr. Malice here is very smart in protecting himself, or very cowardly, thinking that he needs all this armor for a wrestling match.
That is true, Mr. Showman. I agree with that, but we have not seen Mr. Malice perform as of yet. However, oh man, them flames is just making it so hot in this here arena. I need to get me one of them fans, boy. Mr. Malice.
Now, we need to have Mr. Peterson take that lantern away at the beginning of the match. That way there's no fire hazard. If that thing falls over and breaks, that's putting all of us at risk.
That's a good point, Mr. Showman. We're going to have to take that lantern. I'll let you be the one to go down there and tell Mr. Malice you need that lantern of his. I'm more concerned about Connie and her hedge clippers, but Mr. Peterson got him from my understanding. I slipped him a couple 20s last week, and during that there test show, and I'm positive we got the hedge clippers away from Connor. Now, hopefully Connor won't get one of them new hedge clippers from the store, but we shall see, so.
Now, I'm actually scared that she may have went to the store and got more hedge clippers, because I happen to see a charge on my credit card at Home Depot.
That's unfortunate, so we'll have to deal with that when the situation becomes a predicament, so. Mr. Malice, though, looks mighty interesting here, and this is his very
first. I will
first.
say he does look very ready for this here match.
This is.
But wait till you see my pick come out. My choice for the winner of this match has been through thick and thin. Okay, he has been through rain, snow, ice. He's fought orcs. He's fought dragons. He's led little hobbitses all the way to Mount Doom. Legolas.
Lord have mercy, we got Legolas here?
Yes, sir, we do.
Shit, I'm gonna go get his autograph here. That elf, that's my favorite elf. Did you know that, Showman?
I did know that. Remember, we used to fight all the time when we was playing with our action figures.
Yeah.
You always wanted to be Legolas, and I always wanted to be Legolas.
Yeah, I remember that. That was back a long time ago when the book first came out here. Now, I don't know why they spelled his name wrong. It says his name's Thorion or something like that. I don't know. It's clearly Legolas to me from what I could see here.
I think Mr. Banks just played it smart to avoid any copyright issues. Okay, so
Mr. Banks is a clever man,
Thorion, this is clearly Legolas.
He's a clever man, sir, Mr. Banks. That's why he's in charge, and we just the commentators and GMs here.
I think the only bad choice Mr. Banks has made.
Mr. Legolas, why are you rubbing your ass on the teeth of my skull there? Come on, sir. I know your cape's in the way.
I think the only bad choice that Mr. Banks made was hiring you as the announcer, Richard. I hate you.
I hate you too, Showman. Shit, you smell like piss. Go change your depends, boy, and let's watch, and then we get back to this here action here. Malice
Yes,
clearly gonna
before
win
I-
this
before I
here.
open up a can of whoop ass on you.
Yeah, the only thing you're gonna open up is your depends, and you can't even do that yourself. You gotta have Connor do that. I tell you
Well,
what though,
they are dependable.
anytime you want to step in the ring with the Lady Destroyer, you just sign the dotted line, so and we'll get that going here. But
both
right
know
now,
you wouldn't
I'm
last 5
gonna
minutes
I'm gonna
in the
do
ring
my
with
job
the
here.
Terminator.
I'm gonna do my job here that Mr. Banks is paying me a little bit for here. Now look at Malice here, he's ready. Legolas in the corner there ready. Mr. Peterson ringing the bell. And,
Richard, you gotta call him a Thorian.
oh, that's right, Thorian, my mistake here. Malice
Now,
here.
here we have another very big size disadvantage between a Thorian and Mr. Malice. Now, Mr. Malice looks like he's ready to fight, and a Thorian looks like he just wants to stay away from him.
A Thorian going for some kind of weaponry. Now, like you were saying earlier, I did choose Malice here to win this here match. However, Mr. Malice is wearing all that armor. We don't know if Mr. Malice has injuries and that armor protecting him, or if he just, it doesn't even matter and he just wearing it because he like it. You know what I'm saying, Showman?
Now, one thing I want to point out is with all this armor on, okay, will it become a problem for Mr. Malice being able to move correctly? Because that armor's got to be heavy.
That armor does look heavy there, I saw. And it's all glowy and everything, too. And he had
Yes,
them
sir.
horns
Oh,
on.
my.
Them horns could be a hazard to the ring to Mr. Athorian here. Or those horns could be a hazard if they attach to his head here, if they break off. Someone
Now,
gonna lose.
it also could be very smart for Mr. Athorian to take advantage of those horns. If you hit a cutter on Mr. Malice and those horns get stuck inside of the ring in the mat, Mr. Malice has no choice but to shed that armor and fight.
Mr. Banks will not like that, so I'm sure that ring there is horn proof here. Now this here ladder match is scheduled for one fall here, and the cage will be lowered shortly here. And Mr. Malice is
Did you
going
see that
for them
beautiful
drop
cutter
kicks
right
there.
there next to that ladder? That was a nice cutter.
That was a nice cutter. He cut that bread nice there. Mr. Peterson just standing in the ring with his hands in his pocket, not doing his job already. I could see clearly this is an issue. He watching too. Mr. Athorian, though, is strong. He just picked that boy up by the tip of his toes and flung him upside that there table there.
Yeah, but Mr. Malice, he's getting right back up. I don't think he's actually feeling any of this damage. I think that armor is doing a great job of protecting him.
That armor sure looks like it will protect you. Look how thick that is. Lord have mercy. I bet that
Wait
was...
a minute.
Stop.
What the hell are we doing? I'm sitting here cheering for your guy, and you're cheering for my guy.
I don't... Why are you cheering for that there elf? I've picked the elf, so... That was a quick one, Mr. Showman. Lord
That
have
was a
mercy.
very quick match. I
Mr.
am
Malice
surprised.
destroyed that boy. Where, our pick here, the elf here, Mr. Athorian here, saw, you are in the dumpster division, and I would like to congratulate Mr. Malice here for an overwhelming display of power here. Now, all of these matches have been pretty equally matched and long here, but clearly Mr. Malice is like, no, sir. I'm going to the Universal Division here, not you here.
Now, if you notice, our cameraman is doing a very bad job of capturing.
What is
the
he
actual
doing?
image
What
that's
is he
going
doing
on.
now with that? Why is that guy showing the way? No one wants to see that here. We want to see our winner
Now,
here.
I will say, even though I chose Mr. Athorian to win, I do have to congratulate Mr. Malice on the win because he did a great job in showing his strength.
Mr. Malice is going to be a contender for that Universal title. I can tell right now just looking at him. I mean, just look at this here guy. Now, Mr. Banks is probably going to hate him because he does not like red, black, and silver, from my understanding. But I don't think Mr. Banks, he's going to have to make that man, he going to be a contender here. That's what I think here, so.
And look at the hatred in those eyes of his. He is
that-
not happy.
Those are some good special effects Mr. Malice is using. I wonder who his director and makeup artist is, because I am sold on the part here that this man here is from like another dimension or some kind of demon alien here or something. He is definitely selling his gimmick well here, so.
Well, let's just hope that Mr. Ralph the Rectum Wrecker is not in charge of makeup in special effects.
I hope he isn't here, sir. From my understanding, now, Mr. Embalmer and Mr. Banks last week, they got into that match here to settle that their dispute, and I won't discuss the contents of that match, as everyone that clearly saw the episode already knows what happened, and I don't need to say another word about it here. However, I will say this. Mr. Embalmer interrupted the flow of my show, and Mr. Banks interrupted the flow of my show. Now, Mr. Banks may be my employer, and he may own this here company. However, I have decided tonight Mr. Banks will not be making an appearance here. I gave him the day off because he had a lot to say last week here, so. Now, Mr. Embalmer, you interrupted my show, and Mr. Banks, you interrupted my show, so here's your punishments here. Mr. Banks, you have the night off, sir. I don't want to see you here, sir. Go somewhere. Enjoy your day off, sir. Mr. Embalmer, I am giving you, for your very first opponent in this here tournament, Ralph the Victim Wrecker, sir. And Mr. Banks, when you do show back up here, you are gonna end the dispute with that robot of yours going around accusing Showman of being some kind of alien laying egg parasite monster laying pod people eggs. That's what that robot's saying. And he says you poop on shoes too, Showman. That's so uncalled for here. So we are going to put a stop to that. Mr. Banks, you're going to have to fight him here.
I will say, Richard, the shoe pooping part, that is correct. Okay? There's times, now this was back before I became a spokesperson for the Dependable Depends. But I was using undependable Depends, and they just weren't cutting it. So every time I'd walk through that locker room and I had the urge to go, I'd just have to go and do a shoe.
Alright, Mr. Showman, we are on a time schedule here, sir. I apologize for cutting you off. I do understand that accidents happen, which is why you use your Dependable Depends here. So, we will continue after these here messages, and then we will be being joined by Miss Harmony when she is out of her wrestling gear and into her regular attire for commentating here with us. I am your host, Mr. Richard Long, and this is my co-host, Mr. Sherman Wright, and we will be back after a word from these here sponsors, sir.
Logan, where's that punk Logan? You know he ate all the nacho chips. Where's the nacho man Andy Cabbage without nachos? He just left an empty can of Pringles. You hear the Pringles shaking? Logan, you double dipped your chip in Miss Salsa. You don't get no queso, 'cause I say so. When I find you, it's gonna be hell to pay. Oh yeah! Well, the reason that Punk Logan lost that ladder match and didn't get the contract, 'cause he had his mind on Miss Salsa and thinking about dipping his chips in her again. He had hunger in his eyes when he looked at her. I saw him. Logan, I'm gonna kill you. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sam Puppet Interview. Cut.
Welcome back here to this here Banks Regime Wrestling. Now, last week here, we had a situation with Mr. Bulk Logan and Mr. Nacho Man Andy Cabbage. One of them was double dipping their chips in the Miss Salsa or anything. Anyway, Showman, I heard a rumor, or Mr. Logan last week here, he said you was in the back in the lunchroom double dipping your chips in Mr. Nacho Man's Miss Salsa. Is that true, Showman?
Now, let me tell you about that, Richard. Okay? When you put a bowl of chips and a jar of salsa out on the lunchroom table, then you're basically inviting the whole locker room to enjoy themselves. So when I saw the chips and the dip sitting there, and I saw Mr. Bulk go ahead and double dip, I thought it was all right to double dip as well.
That's understandable, so that's on. But however, did you know, however, Miss Salsa Biz Salsa is supposed to be so good you do not need to double dip your chips, sir? Which means here, Mr. Nacho Man, his feelings is hurt here, cause it's literally the tagline for the salsa, sir, is that Miss Salsa Biz Salsa is so good you never double dip your chips, sir. So did you know that, sir?
Now, in my defense, Richard, I must say that when I began to indulge myself in the chips and dip, the jar was turned around, so I was not able to actually see the logo. If I would have seen the logo, I would not have double dipped my chips.
I'm sure Mr. Nacho Man will forgive you, Showman. Here comes Mr. Nacho Man pointing at himself in pointing at his little picture dancing. Look at that little picture dancing up there. That's so cute. I bet the kids love that. Mr. Nacho Man making his way out. I can't believe what I'm seeing here, Showman. These two men here are icons in this industry. They literally built this sport. I remember when these two little boys first started back in the early 70s here. They worked their way all the way up here, and it's just absolutely amazing to have these two in the ring here.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed or not, Richard, but I would just like to point out that we are in fact dealing with a food safety violation because Mr. Andy Cabbage happens to have a whole lot of shredded cheese hanging from his arms.
That's cheese, Showman? Shit. I never knew that. I thought those were just streamers on there. I never knew they was cheese. I can see what you're saying, though. He might get hung up on those, though, unless Mr. Bulk Logan get hungry and start snacking on them, too, here. Mr. Bulk Logan has some amazing hair. All these years of wrestling, I've never seen him more hair beautiful than that there. That's one thing Mr. Logan has me on there. But who do y'all think's going to win, Showman?
I'm going to have to go with my man Bulk Logan on this match, simply because, technically, as of last week, we are, in fact, partners in crime. Also, the way his hair is, with him having the best hair in the industry, there's no possible way he could lose this match.
He does get some points for having some hair here, but Mr. Nacho Man, on the other hand, to play devil's advocate here with you, sir, he's very angry, and he's been making some mighty fine nacho chips. Now, if it wasn't for Mr. Nacho Man, you would have had no one to steal chips from, sir. So I'm gonna go with Mr. Nacho Man here, clearly, because he's gonna do a flying drop kick to the anal glands, to the glutes there, and he's gonna wrap this up here. However, I don't see either man tapping out to the other, because these two both hate each other so much.
Now, you mentioned the hatred between these two, and you also mentioned them growing up together. Okay? They kind of remind me, if I may, they remind me of the relationship that me and you have, Richard. Okay?
Absolutely, sir.
We both hate each other.
Absolutely, sir. Been fighting over that Connor until I decided you could just keep her.
Well, it has been brought to my attention that Mr. Mihawk from earlier has been having sexual relations with Connie during his movie.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That boy. What is he getting himself into? I could just laugh at that, y'all. Whatever. That's how Connie is, though. We all know how Connie is.
Now, look at this cheat. He was trying to rake Mr. Logan's hair.
What you talking about? Mr. Logan was trying to, look at him, he's in black. Mr. Nacho Man, the good guy here. All he'd want is for Mr. Bulk Logan to respect the sanctity of the nacho salsa and not double dip his chips. No one likes a double dipper, Showman. No one likes a double dipper. Do you like having sloppy seconds and having a, I suppose you do, Showman. Yeah, you always double dip your chips.
Well, that's how I was raised, Richard. I cannot help it. You know,
Boy, you was raised wrong.
Dog new tricks.
I suppose you have a point there. We're too old and bitter here. Now, like I said, I despise you with every fiber of my being. However, we have worked together so long, Showman, that I feel we have a mutual respect for each other to work in this here industry for the sake of the industry, on behalf of the industry, for the industry, and by the industry here. However, I still hate your guts.
In this industry, when you work in this industry together, as long as we have, Richard, like you said, we've seen it all, we've done it all, we've been through everything possible. So the only thing left is for us to actually show some resemblance of respect.
I agree with that, sir. Now, however, I got word Miss Harmony is having an altercation in the back with Miss Vanessa. I guess they still fighting or some such. There is a dumpster involved, that's all I know. I don't have all the fine details. However, Miss Harmony will not be joining us for the remainder of the show, unfortunately. However, I will make sure Mr. Bulk Logan wrapped that up rather quickly, but back to my point here. Miss Harmony will be joining us for episode 3, Mr. Nacho
Well,
and...
I can say that while I'm surprised that Miss Vanessa and Miss Harmony are still going at it, you can't really blame them. You know, you have two tough competitors still going
Yes,
at
sir.
it backstage after their match.
Now, I will say this, Mr. Bulk Logan, maybe I'm gonna go back there with Showman, and we're gonna double dip. We're gonna double dip your chips too. I'm gonna try double dipping Miss Salsa a bit. How is it? Was it good?
It was absolute perfection. It fit better than Mr. Reckham's hands.
Mr. Breckham Hands, wow, Lord have mercy. You know what, Showman? Let's here take a commercial break, and let's me and you rolled up into the back here, and we're gonna double dip Miss Salsa a bit together with Mr. Bulk Logan, cause they'll make Mr. Nacho Man mad since he's going in the dumpster division anyway, since he lost his heel match, and Mr. Logan going to the Universal division. I don't really think I much care about being on his
I'm
side
already
anymore
on
here.
my way there, Richard. Cut to commercial.
Alright, commercial time here.
Get the hottest magazine around! Get the inside information and prediction of who will win from our top psychics! Plus, exclusive interviews, exclusive posters, and all the latest hottest wrestling gossip there is! Go now, behind the scenes, and see the hardships our superstars all face for a chance to win the gold! Monthly subscription starts at $19.99. Kids must first brush their teeth and get their parents' permission before calling. Call 1-800-BRW-MEGA. That's 1-800-BRW-MEGA. This is not a real phone number, and I will not be held responsible if you call it doofus. And for a limited time only, unedited and uncensored, never before seen on TV, and never will be aired banned footage. It was the night Miss Harmony Banks got drunk and danced on top of BRW Arena. Get this exclusive bonus DVD only with issue 1. Hurry and call now. Call now before Mr. Banks and Miss Harmony find out. That's 1-800-BRW-MEGA. Call now.
Welcome. Me and
back
Miss...
to BRW Wrestling. I'm
Yep.
taking over this job right now while Richard goes ahead and cleans himself up from double dipping.
That's true, Mr. Showman. I see what you've been both saying. The double dipping as Miss Salsa was fantastic. Oh my soul, Miss Carver Daniels is here, and what happened to her hair? Oh, that's right. She got arrested last week. Did you know after the altercation between her and this Nicole Richardson that Miss Carver went out and I guess she sledgehammered Miss Richardson's car and everything, and she got arrested and all that. Mr. Banks got her paroled or some such, and she's only allowed to be here to perform until she has to go back to the big house because she went to jail, sir.
Well, I was not informed of the incident. If you remember correctly, I was actually at my proctologist appointment last week.
Yes, sir, with Mr. Richard, Ralph the Wreckham Wrecker. Ralph the Wreckham
I
Wrecker.
was not, in fact, aware of the
You was-
incident.
You
Although
you
I'm
had
not
other
sure
you had
I
other
can
big
back.
problems on your plate that day, boy.
Exactly. But
Here-
I do have to say, I am very glad to see her participating in the ring this week.
Here comes Miss Nicole Richardson here. Now, who are you going to choose to win this here? Now, we have I don't know much about Miss Richardson other than she talked a great deal of shit last week, but Miss Carver has been in some hellacious matches, and she is a contender, in my opinion, to get that Universal Empress belt, other than Miss
Well,
Harmony.
I think, in all fairness, I think we can agree on Miss Kiva winning this match here. Now, the reason why I'm going to go with your choice as well is because Miss Richardson clearly has no care for our well-being or the audience's well-being driving that vehicle down to ringside with all those nasty exhaust fumes.
Yes, sir. That was quite mighty annoying. I agree with you on that here. So let's see if Miss Kiva here can do what she claimed here, or if Miss Richardson was correct. Miss Richardson going for a drop kick, her and Karana there, getting her in the ring now.
Now, Miss Kiva is playing it pretty smart here, taking it to the outside where she can punish this woman without any repercussions.
Yes, sir, but need I remind everyone now, y'all better not be bleeding on Mr. Banks' carpet there here. He does not like that. Miss Kiva going for some elbow strikes and for some gluteus kicks there and flipping her on her behind and punching her in the face there.
Those are some vicious punches to the face there.
Yes,
that
sir.
reminds me of the time me and you got into that fight in the casino.
I don't remember that. I must have lost or some such. I probably did. No, my luck. I never win them there casinos here. That's why I don't play them no more.
Now, I would like to point out that all night tonight we have seen a lot of matches of different size proportions. Now, this one, they're both similar, and they're both on the same page when it comes to size. So we should be excited to see what happens here.
Miss Kiva working that stick. Lord have mercy. Look at her go with that. Oh, Miss Richardson stole the pole from her. And she's like,
I haven't seen a pole work like that since Mr. Mehoff earlier in the night.
Yes, sir. Miss Richardson dropped the pole, however. And Miss Daniels, yeah, shit, Shaman. We going to hell, and you know it, boy. Miss Daniels here, dropping her on her glutes.
Well, I'll be the one driving that bus, so you pick your seat and we'll be just fine.
I got shotguns, huh? Anyways, here, Miss Daniels picking up Miss Nicole Richardson here, and she appears to be going for one of them flyby maneuvers here, knocking her upside her head in the pole there.
Now, see, Miss Kiva is being very, very smart. She is continuing to keep this match on the outside to punish Miss Richardson, and it seems to be working out just fine in her favor.
Mr. Showman, you know how Mr. Banks is. He don't care much for rules. He don't like no rope breaks. He don't like just count out 10 counts. That he doesn't like any of that traditional stuff. He likes no rules. He likes a winner, a win by any means necessary. He believes that is the best philosophy here, which is why all of the matches for round 1 of this here tournament are Extreme Rule matches here.
Yes. Now, Miss Kiva seems to be setting up for her own special maneuver.
That was a maneuver, all right. Yep, and that's what I thought. Well, Miss Daniels is clearly the superior, victorious opponent there. She won clearly with that there drop kick.
Uh-oh, Miss Richardson doesn't seem to be very happy.
Miss Richardson punch. Oh, Miss Richardson punch. Why is everybody? Mr. Peterson can't count, but there's no reason to whack him upside his head. That is just gonna make him count slower next time you in the ring, you fools. You know what I'm saying?
I think that might be what he needs, because that match did seem to go a little fast, and he did seem to count pretty fast as well.
Yes, sir, I agree. We're going to have a talk with management about him. I'm sure Mr. Banks isn't pleased about how fast that boy's counting now. Now, Mr. Peterson's clearly a cheater, so he fits in well here, and I'm assuming that's why Mr. Banks hired him. All right, let's cut to a commercial here, and we'll see what we got on the agenda going forward here.
Yes, sir. I'll see you after these messages.
Listen and hear the words of your supreme sovereign, Rob Banks. Listen up, you uneducated, smelly primates. I'm only going to explain this one time. You all know you smell like the inside of an aftermath dumpster fire with rotten eggs mixed in. Now, every time you people show up to my arena and in my presence, your awful hygienic smell interferes with my wrestling skills and abilities. And it makes me have to work harder than I should. So, I've come up with a solution to the problem. I am now offering the Supreme Sovereign's Special Blend Body Wash and Shampoo. You can find it at your nearest grocery stores, and in your newspapers there will be BankBucks coupons to save 50 cents per bottle. I will also be dropping BankBucks at the arena. Please feel free to pick them up off of my floor and utilize them, and go to your nearest store and buy yourself the Supreme Sovereign Special Blend Shampoo and Body Wash. So I have spoke it, so it shall be done. Go to the store, buy the body wash, take a shower. The Supreme Sovereign has spoken.
Welcome, welcome. Now, Mr. Embalmer, I selected your opponent this week here. You'll be fighting Mr. Ralph the Rectum Wrecker here. Now, Showman, I have a question for you, boy. We'll wait till Mr. Embalmer gets to the ring here, but who do you think gonna win this here match here?
Well, now that I, crawled out from under the desk after seeing who was up next, and I put my headset back on so we could actually announce this match, I'm going to go with Mr. Embalmer here simply because I do not like Ralph.
Mr. Embalmer is a very, very well-known competitor, especially over at the Redacted League here. However, I have never seen Mr. Ralph yet. I have not seen him. I've only heard the stories that you've told me and others have told me here. Mr. Embalmer was telling.
I've seen him once last week, and I am never going to see him again.
Mr. Showman, I have a question for you, sir. How many fingers did Mr. You say his hands is very big, sir. How many fingers did he fit in the cavity of your anus, sir?
Well, Richard, let me tell you, it felt like 3, but I can tell it was only 1.
Oh my soul, Showman. It can't be alright. Let's see him. Here he comes here.
Wait until you see this man.
Oh my soul, that boy ate his Wheaties. That's your proctologist, Showman?
He ate everybody's Wheaties.
Look at them hands, Showman!
Yes.
Oh my soul.
One of them fingers inside of you.
Them fingers is big. Those are his gloves. See, now he wears them gloves everywhere he goes. He does not like to take his... Oh my soul, Showman. Look, he even got him... He's all oiled up and everything. He's ready to dig in, Showman. I won't tell him you're here.
Now, I will say I am slightly disappointed in seeing him here because you mentioned he was all oiled up. Last week, he didn't use any.
You gotta be kidding me, Shaw. Maybe his finger's just so big. Look at how big he is. Lord have mercy. Oh, make sure we get someone out there to clean off those ropes and the rings. Who knows where those gloves have been here? There is a big...
Mr. Banks would be mighty disappointed if somebody got sick from those ropes.
I see why they call him the Rectum Wrecker here. Them is some big hands. That boy is like 8 feet tall here.
Well, that is why I am cheering for Embalmer.
I'm so scared of Mr. Ralph the Rectum Wrecker. I think I'm gonna cheer for Embalmer too. Mr. Peterson ringing the bell. Mr. Embalmer doing that flip kick.
Yes, that's right, Embalmer. Drop him on his ass.
Oh, Embalmer. Well, Embalmer got all that face paint on. I don't think a little dirty glove on his face from that slap there, and then his hair and all over his face is gonna do really much to him here. He's pretty greasy.
Now,
no offense, Mr. Embalmer. We do
Richard,
love having you here.
One small fact that you might not know. Mr. Ralph, his hands are so big that in his line of duty that he does, no pun intended, he somehow always manages to keep everything clean, as you can see from his clear white shoes.
I see what you saying, Showman. Lord have mercy. Oh my soul, that had to hurt. That man has to... That man had to weigh like 400 pounds at least. I'm gonna have to get his weight. And Balmer going now, and Balmer is at a clear disadvantage. Lord have mercy, he took the whole ring with him now. And Balmer at a clear disadvantage. Just the size is just a disadvantage here. I have to say he the biggest of the biggest here. And Balmer gonna have to chop the tree down. You know what I mean here?
Yes, now while he's in the process of doing that, I do encourage Mr. Embalmer to stay far, far away from those hands as much as possible.
He needs to keep his glutes away from them hands, if you know what I'm saying, Showman. I'm sure you could tell him that too here.
Oh, ew, he just grabbed his arm.
Oh, I hope those gloves is clean. Lord have mercy, who knows what they've been. He
Those
all
are
gloved up
definitely
and...
not clean gloves. Those are the exact same ones he used on me last week.
Oh, my soul. Poor Balmer, I feel so bad for him. I kind of regret making him fight this man now. I hope...
have to say, though, if it is true that Mr. Ralph does not change his gloves, then every time he does one of his appointments, there tends to be a little bit of Sherman in everybody.
Slow Sherman shit. I heard though that Mr. Ralph came here because nobody wants. Now he is supposedly Mr. Ralph the Wrecker here. He supposedly graduated at the top of his class here. Oh Lord, oh my God, he's going for tools, Showman. Look, oh he got a probe. He's gonna try to probe Mr. Embalmer.
Yes, you see, he brought out the probe early in the match already.
He brought the probe out. Mr. Embalmer, you need to make sure you watching your 6, sir, because Mr. Ralph the Wrecker, he got that probe out, and that might come into play later, sir.
He just brought out the fist to Mr. Embalmer's gut, and let me tell you, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger is way too much, but when he puts out the full fist, you better
Oh
watch
my
out.
soul, he just did a butt stomp on Mr. Embalmer. Mr. Embalmer gotta be dead. I'm surprised. Oh, he got the probe. He decided it's not time to probe him yet here. I hope he doesn't probe
God,
Embalmer.
this man
Nobody.
scares me.
What's that, Shulman?
I said this man scares me half to death.
I bet he does here. Look at the strength of the Embalmer, though. Picking him up and flinging him like a rag doll here. I just don't want to see him.
Come on, Embalmer.
I just don't want to see Embalmer get probed here. I don't want to see his rectum ruined on live television. That would not be good. We got little children's in the audience, and they don't need to learn about no medical terminology and shit. Now, I understand that Mr. Ralph only wants to fight half of these guys here because he wants patience, because his real true calling in life is proctology, and everyone's afraid of the man. And I mean, I think I would cry like a little girl if I went into the proctologist's office and that man was there. Look at him. Look at that crazy hair
Well,
and everything.
I have a confession to make, Richard. Last week was actually my second appointment with Mr. Ralph. And let me just tell you, that's the man that taught me how to double dip.
Shit, Showman. 1, 2. Mr. Ralph is not going to go down that easy, Embalmer. You're going to have to put in some work here. He going to wreck your rectum if he wins here. He got a clause in his contract.
Mr. Embalmer, your best bet is to back into that corner and clench your cheeks.
Yes, sir, Showman. Yes, sir. Now, I've been informed that Mr. Ralph has an exclusivity contract here that anyone he defeats in this here ring has to make him their official proctologist here. I will never fight that man. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get out of that shit. He ain't gonna be probing me with no probes.
And that means that they're lucky because I didn't even get the chance for that.
What shit, Showman? You went to him willingly. Because, you know, you got the discount from Mr. Banks. He gives you the 50% off and all that. He probably told you to go up there as a joke. Y'all never talk with Mr. Banks about that, so. Mr. Embalmer looks like he's going for a finisher of some sort.
Now, if you notice, Mr. Embalmer, he stayed very far away from those hands on that maneuver. And he's playing it smart right now.
He's not as smart as Mr. Peterson. Mr. Peterson's like 2 miles away from those boys.
I hope we don't get a repeat of last match. For Mr. Peterson, he'll have to get a couple tetanus shots.
Mr. Embalmer, congratulations, sir. You will not be going to the dumpster division. Mr. Ralph the Wrecker, however, will, and you will not have to make Ralph your proctologist, sir. that alone is victory in and of itself. Like, I would be more happy that I did not have to see that man for an appointment than being in the Universal Division. So,
Oh God, he just made eye contact with me.
Rob, I kind of feel bad for him. I think he just a little misunderstood there. However, Mr. Embalmer put the Rectum Wrecker in his place there. And we will be back here after these here commercial messages here.
I'm Gwen Cassidy. Will you be an angel for a helpless animal? They're crying out for help. Call this number on your screen or go online, which is $4.99 a month. Help see rescue these poor sad animals from being abused or from being killed. This money helps provide medical care, food, and love. This is your chance to say, I won't let this happen. Let's all get together and help these poor animals, especially rescue those gerbils from that gerbil jabber. And for thanks, I will throw in a conversation of what your pets really feel about you, and I'll also throw in a tote bag signed by yours truly.
Alright, Mr. Showman, we got our kind of situation under control here. This here next match is Mr. Landshark versus Mr. Blaine here.
Yes. Now you see, Richard, this is I saw
Oh
this
my soul.
episode.
That man's
I saw
terrifying.
this- What in the hell is that?
I am scared out of my mind. I feel like he is just gonna eat me. He's called Landshark. Look at him. He got gills and everything. That boy's
How
a
is he
shark?
breathing?
I don't know. I think they got some kind of... I mean, he is a land shark, so I would assume he could breathe on land somehow here.
You know, I think I saw an episode like this on Animal Planet. It was a what if episode. If a shark and a tiger fought each other on land, what would happen?
He got them there bubbles here.
Now, how in the hell did he get that to work?
I don't know. He is a land shark, so I'm assuming somehow he has... He looks like he is a land shark. I just, that's all I know. He's a land shark. Now, I heard Mr...
He's a land shark, but where are them bubbles coming from? He got a blowhole. Yep, there it is.
I wonder if them bubbles just come out anywhere. Now, Mr. Landshark just coming out here in his drawers. He must be some sort of surfer or something from the look of it. I would assume so. I guess if you're a Landshark, you only need your drawers, y'all.
Now, this next competitor is one that I'm very excited to see. I think Blaine here is going to do a very, very fine job.
Blaine here is an upstanding, fine, helpful gentleman. He helped me with my car getting it started the other day. I have nothing bad to say about this here boy, and I like his hat.
Now,
It looks...
I seem to notice, Richard, that he took your hat.
Now, Mr. Blaine, and a funny story about that. Mr. Blaine and I, before this here show was open, he helped me with my car, and we were looking for get-ups here, and he's like, why don't you get one of these here hats like me? It'd look good on you. And I said, I like that hat, sir. So he got me one. So I will say that this was his here hat first. However, I liked it so much, I decided I had to have me one of them, so I decided to copy him, and he said he was fine with that. So,
Well, I will say, Richard, that no matter how much I hate you, we have always been at the top of our game with our outfits, okay? And that hat looks mighty fine on you.
it does, sir. I got some nice star glasses to go with it, too, sir. Looks good on Mr. Blaine here, too, sir.
Now, when two of the most vicious predators in the animal kingdom go head-to-head in the ring, we are about to see what becomes of that.
Yes, sir. We got a leopard saw, leopard tiger saw, and a cheetah maybe. And we got, I'm assuming, a great white man here. And all these matches tonight, lots of different size differences here. We got giants versus little guys here tonight, except for like that one match we had earlier. I believe it was Kaiva and Miss Nicole Richardson. Mr. Peterson.
Yes, that was one of the Well, Miss Harmony and Vanessa were on the same
Yes,
scale
sir.
almost. You know, nothing as bad as this right here. Land Shark has Blaine beat by a ton.
As far as size goes, yes, sir. But we'll see how Mr. Blaine could get out of this here situation he's in. He going for that there drop kick, taking him out to the crowd there. And of course, as I said, all these here matches are extreme rules because Mr. Banks don't care much for rules here. For at least
Now,
the first
one
round.
of the toughest things, one of the things that makes it so tough to participate in this wrestling business is you have to be fit, okay? You have to be good with controlling your breathing. And both of these competitors are being very smart. They're targeting the stomach and the lungs of each other, which will make it hard for them to breathe.
I think Mr. Landshark have gills though there, so on his neck. They trying to go for a baseball bat of some sort, and however they're raking the eyes of the shark. I see the sharks operate by smell. That's why his nose is so big. I think there. If he smells that blood, he gonna get all in a frenzy if you start leaking, Mr. Blaine. So you better be careful not to bleed in this hell match. He might eat y'all up here.
Well, I will tell you this, Richard. I don't expect there to be any weapons of any kind to be brought into this match because I have yet to see an animal use a baseball bat.
Mr. Blaine tried to use it here. He has some kind of kitty cat hybrid of some sort, and so is Mr. Landshark here from the look of it. Unless they just got great special effects artists in the back. I know Mr. Banks hired some because he's on that Fist of the Dumpster movie, and he got some Hollywood connections now.
Now,
And-
Mr. Landshark was very smart right there, rolling out of the way of that second rope maneuver. However, he messed up by rolling out of the ring and allowing Mr. Blaine to go back on the offensive.
Yes, sir. Now he gonna deal with his maneuvers there. Mr. Blaine picking up the Landshark here, going for a drop kick here, and Mr. Landshark here turns that into some sort of kitty. Oh, Mr. Landshark got that there baseball bat. What are you gonna do with it? Oh, Mr. Blaine
Now,
rolls
with
out the way.
Landshark- With Landshark being signed to BRW as well, you have to kind of think about, is there going to be any ferocity between Landshark and Abigail? Because a cuttlefish is one of the shark's most delicious feasts of all time.
Yes, sir. I would assume Miss Narana Moon might have an issue with him too, being a mermaid and all. At least that's what I heard, that they don't like the sharks very much. Like, I heard her talking about that or some such in the back when I was asking about, like, where she came from and everything when I was doing my interviews here. So, we may have a potential rivalry here. However, they are the different gender here, so Mr. Landshark will be kept away from those there women now. Mr. Landshark.
Yes, we will have to keep a very close eye on him. Now, he went for that submission, and Blaine seemed to
Yes, sir.
break out of that submission very quickly. And now Landshark is
He's
taunting in the middle of
showboating
the
when he
ring.
should be finishing him off if he was smart, but I'm rooting for Mr. Blaine here just simply because Mr. Blaine is my friend here. Yeah, I love that hat
What
he got.
a great reversal, and Mr. Blaine was setting up for some kind of special move, and he seems to be still waiting, even though Landshark is no longer in the ring with him.
Yes, sir. He's got. He goes for a drop kick there, misses with it, and it costly because now Mr. Landshark is getting up in a frenzy here. Picking him up here for a submission figure 4 leg lock here in the air, slamming him in the ground now. Mr. Peterson watches on while he flips him here.
Now, you'd have to think a figure 4 leg lock on a cat would have to hurt very, very much.
Yes, sir, because they got them now different knee joints and everything here. Mr. Landshark looking to wrap this up here. Let's see if he can do it.
2?
Not quite there
Wow.
yet, Mr. Landshark here.
What a reversal out of that figure 4.
That was
I thought he was tapping.
That was the most progressive reversal I've ever seen now, Mr. Showman. Like, he got down to figure 4, he flipped that shit around on him, but Landshark getting ready to finish him off here. I think, y'all. Let's see if he can wrap it. Oh my god, look at them teeth and them eyes. Did you see that, Showman? That boy had shark teeth and everything.
Oh my goodness. Where did Mr. Banks find the special effects artist to pull this off?
Mr. Banks is an amazing man, so I know he get a little temperamental at times, but he just spared no expense making us the best, finest show
You
here.
know, there was always that saying that somebody will do something when pigs fly. Well, what about when sharks fly, as we just saw?
Yes, sir. They say he's a land shark. Maybe we should change his name to Land and Sky Shark, sir.
Oh my goodness, what a vicious kick to the ribs. That was terrible.
Blaine's in trouble here. Mr. Landshark's mounting a mighty fine offensive, and them ropes sticking to him for some reason.
It's the scales. That rope was stuck on his
Clearly,
scales. And you
clearly
gotta remember,
it's the scales,
those are like
sir.
saw teeth.
Mr. Blaine is gonna have to go for a weapon if he wants to pull out any kind of defensive measures here to win this here match, because he been, I hate to say it, my friend Mr. Blaine, but you, Mr. Landshark, may be too much for you to bite off of here.
And
He's trying.
Mr. Landshark has him in his teeth, and he was not letting go. That was a great rake to the eyes by Blaine.
Yes, sir. Great rake to the eyes there. He might be putting him in the sleeper hold now from the look of it here. Yep, got him in the sleeper
I
hold.
tell you what, cats are one of the easiest animals to get to go to sleep. You just scratch them behind their ears there, and they go right to night-night.
Yep, my granddaughter have one of them there kitty cats there, and that thing does nothing but sleep all day and like sit on chairs and whatnot. So yes, if he finds that right spot,
We had a kitty cat.
Now-
We had a kitty cat once till Connie sat on it.
yeah, I could see that happening. I heard that story, Shawman. That was unfortunate. If he just find that spot behind his ears and rub them, he just rub them ears there, he'll get that Blaine to go to sleep there. If he gets him in that sleeper hold there.
Now, it seems Mr. Landshark was having a bit of a cramp in his right leg there, so we'll have to
It's
keep
amazing.
watching to see if that is a target.
Amazing agility there by Mr. Blaine there. Look at that. He just doing flips all over that land shark there.
And
Like-
if you noticed, he still landed on his front. So that goes to show that the saying is true, that cats always land on their feet.
Well, let's see. He's about to do a maneuver here of some sort. Oh my soul, what an maneuver that was. Some sort of flying drop kick there. He going for the cover. I think Landshark might be in trouble here.
1, 2.
Oh my soul. Mr. Landshark is an unstoppable killer machine apparently. He wants some more. Or just maybe...
Well, the shark is one of the deadliest predators in the known animal kingdom, so he's not going to give up that easily.
Yes, sir. He's twisting it around here on that there cat. Hopefully, Landshark, since he adopted the land here, now I would assume that Mr. Blaine has the advantage in this match because you gotta think, a Landshark is not familiar with the land. Their primal instincts is the water here, but however, he is a Landshark and he did seem to be performing well, but I would think this here atmosphere would be a predicament for him since it is new to him, I would assume, so.
Yes, well, I will have to say, Richard, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but sharks, their natural element is the water. But with him being a land shark, he is doing very well for himself.
Mr. Blaine got himself a finisher going here. Let's see what he's going to do here. Apparently, oh my soul, he just made the
planted him right on his backside.
The kitty cat made him bleed here.
3, 2.
Mr. Blaine, sir, congratulations on your victory, sir. You will be heading to the Universal Division while Mr. Landshark, we gonna toss you in the
That goes
dumpster.
to show, ladies and gentlemen, that the cat is mightier than the shark.
Yes, sir, here. Oh, Mr. Landshark, why everyone just abusing poor Mr. Peterson tonight? But like you said, he deserves it. Mr. Landshark looks very, very angry here. Alright, here we will be back after these here messages for our main event here. Stay tuned, y'all.
Oh my goodness. Hi. I'm Abigail, the best mom in the world. Check out my newest creation, the Cuttlefish Gummies. Sweet on the outside, sour on the inside. They come in cherry, strawberry, blue raspberry, lime, and orange flavors. All modeled after my precious baby cuttlefish. Go on, take them. Only $5.99. Buy two, get one free. If you're
Welcome, y'all back to this Hell Banks Regime Wrestling Hell. Oh shit, Showman, hey, Connor. This is Connor, everyone.
God. Oh my God! Look at that ogre. My beautiful wife.
Connor coming to the ring. She got something to say, Showman. I don't. Oh Lord have mercy, Connor. Don't do that. We don't want to see that.
I will say this, Richard. Me and her has been together for 10 years now, and she terrifies me more and more every day.
Connor gonna say something here. It appears she calling someone out, Miss Diana here. Showman boy.
Oh, no. No.
Showman boy,
that
Diana hitting on you, Showman. She accusing her.
Well, you see, she was flirting with me. You know, she helped me double dip my chip.
Lord have mercy, Sherman. Oh shit, she think Diana took her head clippers. Oh Lord have mercy, we created a situation here.
Now that is one thing I will say. You never come between a troll and her weapons.
That's true. That's true, Showman. But here's the thing here. Oh, look how mad she is, Showman. Showman, we can't let her get no hedge clippers again here. She get them hedge clippers, we gonna lose our tallywhackers here, and we can't have that here.
Well, you know, I noticed her hedge clippers came up missing, and then there was a charge on my bank account. Oh, hold up. I will finish after a minute. Here comes Diana.
Diana has something to say here. I'm sure you was just hitting on her in the back, and she was probably telling you to buzz off or something, or she just wanted to get the chips. That's what I think happened here, Showman.
From the way she was acting, it kind of seemed
ooh,
like
that
she
face
was
could
feeling
kill.
the
If looks
Terminator.
could kill. Kinda the evil succubi from the pits of hell, ladies and gentlemen. This here fool Showman married that woman. He married that succubi. Now, has she removed your soul from your sphincter yet with that vacuum cleaner? I saw her do that to a gentleman in the back when she was trying to wax me, and she told me I was next, and I wiggled my way out them restraints of God there as fast as I could, sir.
Now, I will say I lost my soul the day I married that woman.
I believe it, Showman. I believe it.
Now, I will say a fun fact that you may not know. Connie is an animal in bed. Now, when I say animal, I'm talking Animal Planet. You see, when two wildebeests get together and they love each other very much.
Showman, I'm going to stop you right there. Showman, I already know about Connie, okay? I don't know how to tell you this, Showman, but I'm not the only one. Connie gets around, if you know what I'm saying here, Showman. She is, after all, Facebook sex spot here, so she is a machine.
I will say Connie has been passed around more than a bottle at a frat party.
Connie charges $4.99 a minute according to her advertisements, and here I may be breaking the fourth wall or some such here, but Connie is really a sex spot from Facebook here. And I have no idea what I'm even talking about right now. I have no idea what I'm saying here. Perhaps I'm breaking the barriers of reality of some such here, but that is how Connie came into existence, so.
Now, Connie came into existence because Jesus didn't love us very much and saw our sins and sent her to destroy us.
Now that's slander here, so. Don't you be talking about the good Lord like that, so. Now, Connie, I think she just was... I think Connie's just evil, so she's just a demon from the pizza hill here.
Now, you mentioned earlier that she charged $4.99. Now, how did you get that discount? Because me and her are married. We sleep
So
in the
I'm the
same
Lady
bed.
Destroyer. I get it.
$25.35.
Well, Showman, see, when you were the Lady Destroyer, Mr. Richard Long, you get a discount, so. Now, Miss Diana, just as I thought here, is saying she has no idea what this old coot here is talking about here. Connie, however, isn't having any of it, and she is calling her out here. And
Well,
all
you
these
see,
fans...
Miss Diana is being very, very smart in this situation. She is denying everything, and that's exactly what I plan on doing if Connie confronts me.
I would too, Showman, because she's going to chop your tallywhack off, boy. That's what she to get them hedge
And we all
clippers
know
for.
the Sherman
Oh, Lord have mercy. Miss Diana had enough. She hit Connie. Oh, there was a mistake on your behalf, Miss Diana. You don't hit
Get her,
Connie.
Diana. Get her.
Get her.
I mean,
Get her.
I'm
So we don't have to...
sorry, Connie. I love you.
We just like our tallywhackers more here. Connie ain't having none of it,
my
though.
Goodness, could you imagine how Miss Diana's back feels right now?
I imagine you would know more than anyone, Showman, since she probably have you over like that every single night here.
Well, fun fact that you might not know, but Connie actually helped Ralph hold me down last week.
I could so see that, Showman, damn boy. I would have tried to get anything I could to get away from that Ralph Wreckham Wrecker.
She had me in that exact same position while he inserted those one finger.
I bet she had some kind of evil satisfaction out of watching you at your appointment. So I bet
Diana, whatever you do, stay away from that mouth of hers.
Oh shit, Showman. Oh, Diana, you done, Mr. Peterson, you're touching. That's Showman's wife. Don't put your hands on her. That woman's a succubi. She suck your soul out, huh?
I'm gonna beat his soul out.
Alright, here, we need to take a commercial break by my Mr. Peterson. Showman, you may want to go down there and control your woman, sir. And I don't know, we know that ain't gonna happen. She gonna fucking beat your ass, sir. Excuse my language there, but that's...
Dad, I'm running to the locker room. I'll see you after commercial.
Alright, commercial break it is, sir.
Are you constantly waking up drenched in your bed, soaked because you didn't make it to the bathroom? Do those dreams of relaxing in the ocean often lead to an ocean of pee in your pants? Do I have a product for you? Sherman Wright's Dependable Depends, the preferred nighttime underwear for the elderly and medically diagnosed incontinent. If they would have slapped one of these bad boys on the Bilberry Reservoir, it would have stopped the Great Dam failure in 1852. Are you in the money in the bank and you can't hold your bladder while climbing up that ladder? Sherman Wright's Dependable Depends may be just right for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to this here BRW Wrestling. Now, I made a mistake here because I was just so into the action here. This is the second to last match here, not the main event. My understanding is Mr. Banks himself wants to see Connie and Diana fight each other, so they will be the main event tonight. This was originally supposed to be the main event. However, we added that in there for a little bit of flavor. Now, this here is a newcomer, Miss Victoria Gardner here. Showman, you know anything about her?
The only thing I know about Victoria, Richard, is that just like Mr. Mehoff, she had an outstanding Indies career, okay? Now, when she was signed by Mr. Banks for BRW, I myself was very excited to see this woman in action.
I'm very excited to see this woman in action too, Showman. Lord have mercy, she looked good. She looked like she's gonna be a great performer here.
Now, I have to be careful because Connie could be lurking around every corner.
That's true, Showman, that's true. Miss Victoria making her presence known here on BRW. This is her debut match here. And here we have Miss Temptress, if you can even call her a miss. She's a machine. Now, I understand how this is here. Miss Temptress here is the prototype robot to Toastina here. Mr. Benny Nan, he fell in love with a toaster or some such, and he turned Toastina into a toaster robot or something. And however, I don't know the full story, but all I know is this here's the prototype, and Mr. Benny Nan does not like this robot, and I guess it's just walking around, so Mr. Banks gave it a purpose and signed it up here or some such.
Well, I'm glad you happened to mention the toaster, Richard, okay? Because we spoke earlier about Mr. Banks loving his regime logo and having it on everything. Now, I was so excited to get some breakfast that I went to get toast and noticed that the logo was even on the bread.
I believe it, Mr. Showman. Mr. Banks sure does love his regime logo. That's why he puts it on everything here. Alright, Mr. Peterson.
Now, here they go. They're locking up.
Now, how is this even a fair fight? This here girl is fighting a machine or some such. Now, I was told these robots are made out of a very special light alloy, and it's just like hitting human flesh here. But you gotta think here, Miss Gardner is up against a machine, a soulless machine at that, from my understanding.
Well, if you remember, Richard, there have been plenty of movies that have shown humans fighting machines. You have The Matrix, you have The Terminator, and humans do a surprisingly good job, so maybe that'll carry over into this match.
I suppose. That's if Miss Temptress even is a robot. I'm highly suspecting that she's just part of the special effects program. And even that B9 could be someone in a suit for all we know. I mean, it looked like there's...
B9 reminds me of an old 60s scuba diver, and I think he might be another old man like us.
He could be, sir. He sounds very jaded, sir. Then Temptress and Toastina are obviously the same person. Have you ever seen them together? I've never seen them together. They just changed the color suit, unless they twins or something.
Exactly. That's just like me and Batman. You have never seen us in the same room together.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Sherman. You ain't no Batmans.
No, I'm too old for that, Richard. You know that.
I mean, maybe in the 60s you could have been one. See, I know how this works. Let me explain. See, Batman's been around for a long time, Showman. Now, everyone knows they change who the Batman is so that there's always a Batman here. It's more of a title here. So, maybe you could have been back when we was younger, like in the 60s and the 70s here, but I know it wasn't you, Showman, because you was busy wrestling when Batman was on that television set.
Yes, I was actually, back in the day, money wasn't as good as it is today, okay? So back then, I was fighting for maybe $100 a day. Now, $100 don't mean nothing.
Yes, sir, that's called inflation, sir. Miss Victoria going for...
Is that what that's called? I thought that's what happened when we took our Viagra.
Well, yes, Showman, that is what happened. That is a side effect from it, so. Miss Temptress going for a dropkick maneuver there. Looking like she getting ready to perform a figure 4 leg lock on Miss Victoria Gardner here. Is Mr. Peterson
Now, if you happen to notice, Richard, the color schemes on these two females clash a lot with the green and gold of the ring, and it is hurting my eyes.
Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Banks does not like gold and silver and black all in one. I know that much here. However, I do like Miss Victoria's Gardner's outfit here. However, Mr. Banks, as we all know, he likes his green, gold, and black, sir.
Now, Miss Temptress here, after a beautiful drop kick, she went for that arm bar, and it didn't seem to affect Miss Gardner whatsoever.
That was an arm bar? Shit, I thought that was a leg bar. I need to go get my dick.
No, you old batty fool. When they grab the arm and they go to tweak the arm, it is clearly an arm bar.
I thought that was one of them there cross-body leg drops there. Miss Gardner going to the middle rope here.
That's why Mr. Banks said that I should be the one thinking and not you.
But you have dementia and Alzheimer's, and you can't even remember you all have time, you fool, unless I make you take your medications. Now, that was a costly drop kick.
If you and Connie wouldn't have swapped out my medicine for Tic Tacs and Pez, I'd be in my right state of mind. I would be dependable. I would be dependable, just like Sherman Rice, dependable depends.
You gotta get that in every time, of course you do. So Miss Victoria went for that flying drop kick off the middle rope there, and Miss Temptress turning around, but Miss Victoria throwing her outside of the ring here.
Now this is very smart on their part. You keep it outside of the ring for as long as possible and do as much damage as possible. That way when you get back in the ring, all you gotta do is go for the cover.
Well, in these here Extreme Rule matches, Showman, there are no countouts here. Like, she got a chair here, but she threw it to the ground, because obviously, I don't know, maybe she got...
Miss Temptress is going to plant her right on that chair.
I don't know why she got mad at the chair. The chair did nothing wrong. It's the operator that seemed to have an issue here, but Miss Temptress has been knocked down here by that there drop kick, and it appears she's going for a diamond cutter of some sorts.
Now, you have to think, if using a steel chair on a robot would have any effect.
Well, you gotta hit a robot with something, Showman. Miss Victoria, however, looks like she in trouble. Miss Temptress got her in some sort of scorpion death drop here. I'm picking her up and executing a flyby maneuver here. And now she's
Yes,
doing...
Miss Victoria is not looking too good right now. I'm starting to doubt that she can actually put this match away.
I'm starting to have my doubts too. She is fighting a robot, though, in her defense. I mean, the woman has probably never fought a machine before here.
Oh, Temptress, now you're not supposed to go into toast mode.
Well, from my understanding, her toaster is broken and she cannot make toast, which is why Mr. Benny Nine does not like her, sir. That is my understanding of it.
Thank God, because her toast looked like it would be burnt.
Yes, sir. It burns it every time. I tried it once, and I will never try it again here. I just mostly ignore Miss Temptress, because, I mean, clearly Toastina is the one that makes the toast here. Everyone knows that. And, you know...
Now, if you happen to notice, Miss Temptress has this match in control.
She
and here
is
she goes
winning,
going
though.
for another armbar.
Another armbar there, yep. Now, Miss Toastina makes very wonderful toast, and she's very pleasant. I have never heard Miss Temptress talk so much. However, like I said, Mr. Banks just saw one day and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sign you, because why not? It'll look cool. The kids will like it. And, you know, Mr. Banks is always thinking about that bottom line.
Temptress is going for the pin here.
Going for the pin.
Peterson's in the...
Only a 2 count there.
Peterson was in the wrong place to cover that pin.
Mr. Peterson always in the wrong place there. However, this match is getting mighty fantastic here. Going for a submission hold here. However, Temptress here gets out the figure 4 leg lock here. And Miss Victoria going for some sort of finish maneuver here. Maybe a flyby, a drop kick or some such. That looked like a
Well,
pin.
she has to do something to get herself back into this match.
That was a close one there, but Mr. Peterson only says it's a 2 here. Miss Victoria's starting to regain her momentum here. From the look of things.
Now, you have to think, when you're fighting a robot, that momentum that you're trying to maintain in a match might not be worth it, because it's got to hurt when you hit this thing.
Oh, absolutely, so. Oh, looks like she got her covered there. If you were technically, Mr. Peterson should be out there counting, because Miss Victoria has her in a pin position, even though she's unconscious. All you had to do is have a hand.
Leave it to Peterson to always be in the wrong place at the wrong
dirty
time.
Peterson. He needs to be out there doing his job. That clearly was a pin. Miss Victoria could have had it there. However, Miss Temptress here is regaining her momentum.
I will say, Richard, that for a robot, Miss Temptress is moving pretty quickly around the ring. Now, I don't know if she had an update that she allowed to download last night, but she is moving quite a bit faster than Victoria in this here match.
From my understanding, Mr. Showman, from my understanding, when Miss Harmony actually designed the original schematics for Miss Toastina, from my understanding. However, I think this is the one Miss Harmony may have designed. I don't know how that story went, but I do know that these here robots can do mimicry. Now, mimicry is when they copy off of someone. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but Miss Temptress's moveset here seems awfully familiar to Mr. Banks' wife, Mrs. Banks, Miss Rosa, slap a bitch herself, but she is in an exclusive contract, so she will not be joining us here at BRW. However, I've noticed that there are some similarities between their movement style. However, Miss Temptress here is just clearly a machine.
Now, you have to wonder if Temptress, with the mimicry that she could do, if she actually has files downloaded of every wrestler signed, and if she can switch between those styles at any point of this match.
Now, there is a possibility, sir, but from my understanding, that's what I was told. Now, I cannot confirm or deny that. I just noticed some similarities there, because I'm very familiar with Mr. Banks' wife, Rosa, as far as her moves and matches go, because I watch her quite often,
Did you see that, Richard? I caught one of those.
Lord have mercy, boy, you fast there. You better not tell Connie.
Oh, forget that old hag.
I already have, Showman. I try to every night, but I can't. It's always that face, Showman. That face of hers. It's just you can't remember. Oh, Lord have mercy. Temptress
Oh
trying
my
to
goodness,
break
that
her in
has
half.
got to hurt her knees.
Throwing her like a pencil up against that there pole. Oh, she going for some sort of flippy move there. I believe Mr. Kana does that too. Maybe she learned that from him.
Yes, that definitely looked like a move from Mr. Connor there.
Yes, sir. This is a fantastic slobber knocker barn burner drop kick fest here. Miss Victoria, however, going for a double underhook drop kick here, and that might be it.
And
But
down on her head, she put her right into the scrap pile.
if she ripped that head off like the Mecha Godzilla in that there Godzilla film here, she could maybe twist it off or some such before she get that force field up here. Miss Victoria.
I will say this. This is one of the best matches of the night. These two are just going at it.
This is absolutely fantastic, so I have to agree here. This has been going on for quite a while here.
For a human and a robot, the technicality in this match is off the charts.
It's
They're
also
both agile. They're both very, very, very intelligent when it comes to focusing on their opponents, and I just don't see an end in sight.
I don't either, especially Mr. Peterson just standing in there with his staring off into space. Looks like he's on his cell phone in there texting someone, not even paying attention because they're just killing each other out there. I guess he thinks he needs to pin him inside the ring, but Mr. Peterson, this here is an Extreme Rules match, so you can get yourself out there and you can pin them
Now,
when they go for the cover.
Temptress has hit 3 finishes in a row. Now, the best bet for her would be to roll Victoria back into the ring and go for a submission.
Yeah, yes, sir. That looks like she's about ready to do that here. I'll put her away here. Mr. Peterson going down for the count. She puts out of this. I don't know. Oh, my soul. Miss Victoria
Oh
must
my
be a
goodness,
machine
what
herself.
in the world has that woman been eating?
Maybe she getting into them there. Miss Dawson. Anyways, back to this here action here. Miss
And
Victoria.
she does not seem to be letting up. And here she goes for the leg bar.
Leg
1,
ball here.
2.
I can't believe my eyes. Miss Victoria was being dominated the whole time by that robot, but she shows the human spirit is not so easily defeated here. And
Miss Victoria, I just want to point out that Miss Victoria ate 3 finishes outside of the ring, broke out of the submission she was put into, and turned around and won the match.
I was absolutely amazing on her behalf, and on behalf of humanity, I would like to say thank you, Miss Victoria. And Miss Temptress, you were going to the dumpster division, and Miss Victoria, you will be heading to the Universal division, where you could possibly become the first Universal Empress here, ma'am. Congratulations on your victory here. We will be back right
Yes,
after these.
congratulations are well earned, Miss Victoria.
On these here messages here, we will go to a commercial here, and we shall be back here. Alright, here, showman. Here comes the Kane for the main event here.
Yes, I am not too fond of seeing her perform tonight. She knows we have
Showman, boy! Showman, we gotta run. She found the hedge clippers, saw our tallywhackers in jeopardy here.
Now, I knew damn well what that charge from Home Depot was from. She bought another pair.
She bought another pair. Mr. Peterson, you're gonna have to get those away from her here.
He's gonna go from Mr. Peterson to Misterson.
Yes, sir. If he don't get them hedge clippers, he gonna be first, especially if he don't perform correctly. Mr. Peterson take a lot of abuse here on my soul. Look how big them hedge clippers are. I am terrified. I am even more scared of her than Ralph the Rectum Wrecker.
Now, if you notice, Connie looks absolutely incredible these days. Just her figure, looks like an overinflated figure 8, and I am in love.
She does look good. Unfortunately, them head clippers is terrifying me, and I have not forgotten that she is a succubi from the pits of hell.
Oh my good! Did you see the way her hair bounced up after she took that headband off?
I know her hair's naturally that way, so that band keep her hair down like that. Then she take it off.
Now I hope she can't hear me, and if so, Mr. Banks, I implore you to cut this out of the show. But this right here is my pick. I am picking Diana to win.
Yeah, me too, Saul. But unfortunately, we know Connie gonna win this. Connie's a killing machine from the pits of hell. She's a succubi, and like I said, she came from my back here. And I honestly see Connie going all the way here. And let's see, Mr. Peterson, you just keep away from Connie, and you'll be mighty fine and safe up in here. Connie
Now,
going for drop kicks.
I think Connie is just like the Tooth Fairy, okay? And the reason I say that is the Tooth Fairy, when she collects a tooth, she saves it and she helps fix her mask with that tooth. Connie is the same way with hair. If you notice, her hair just happens to keep getting bigger and bigger, and I think it's all the hair that she shaves off of us.
That's a possibility there. That hair does look mighty familiar. That my back hair was nice and fine like that too. You have a point there, Showman. I want Rusty
Now,
to...
Another thing I wanted to point out, Richard, is I don't know if you know or not, but Connie took extra special care of herself for tonight. She even shaved her mustache.
Shit, she got all prettied up for us? Lord have mercy. Now,
Yeah,
I'll admit,
I believe so.
Connie looks at least like she's only 75 when she wears that. We all know the woman's like 200 or some such.
Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, Richard, but the pants that she has on under that grass skirt, they used to be brand new pants, but the acid from her body just has started eating away at both sides.
Yeah, I could see that. I could tell. Yes, Showman, I could tell right there. Now, Connie going on the offensive here with the drop kick here. Drop kick, spinning drop kick at that. Miss Diana, you need to get out of this here ring and get away from Connie before she decides to recruit you to her army of succubi, because that woman...
Oh my goodness, look at her. She is stretching her back out like I do every Sunday night.
Well, that's the thing here, Showman. You do that, and that shouldn't affect her, because she used to that. Now, Miss Diana Raman here, she clearly looks... Oh, Lord have mercy, Connie. Oh my God.
Goodness, my eyes have begun to melt out of my head.
I'm going to have to say, Connie looked pretty good to me, though. I can't help it. I have a weak spot for the ladies, because I am the lady destroyer.
Well, I may be married to the woman, but that is one part where we will have to agree to disagree.
I suppose you're right there.
Oh no, Miss Diana, stay away from those legs. The amount of sweat and salt on those legs would kill the Dead Sea.
Shit, Showman, the Dead Sea already did it. Kill it again? Yeah, you have a point there.
Connie will bring it back just to kill it again.
I could believe that. I could see her doing that here.
Oh my goodness, Miss Diana, your ribs have to be hurting after that.
Miss Connie just jumped on her like a freight train now. Diana, if you smart, you need to get out that ring and run out the emergency exit in the back there. It's located. You run out there through the crowd there, and you just keep going, and you don't look back. Oh my goodness,
the leg bar that she is in right now has to be hurting. It's got to be a painful maneuver.
Yes, sir. Especially when Connie does it, because it's Connie.
The more you say her name, the more my stomach starts to get to grumbling, and I think I may have double-dipped too many chips tonight.
I think I did too, Showman. I don't like invoking the name of Connie, but, sometimes you have to say her name. Because I think she gets more power when we say her name, and it makes her... She sucks up the energy through that hair of hers, and then she steals the men's souls, like she stole your soul and she tried to get mine. I still have mine. Lord have mercy.
Oh, my
Lord
goodness.
have mercy.
Oh my.
Lord have mercy. No, the children in the audience, Connor. No one needs to see that there.
The children standing by the Purple Hippo sign have gone into cardiac arrest. We need
Yes,
medical.
dispatch medical immediately. Security, if you're hearing this. Oh my soul, I thought Connor almost won that
Miss
hill.
Diana is still hanging on, no matter what.
Uh,
Now, she's
I
hanging
think
on
she
for dear
done.
life.
Connie about to put her away here. Oh yeah, she got hearing that drop kick maneuver she does. It's over. That's gotta be the end of that there. Showman, look at what. Oh my soul, Connie, no.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Connie, what are you doing? That was so uncalled for, Connor.
Now, I don't know about you, Richard. I don't know if it is the Viagra kicking in, but when she laid like that, I could feel it working.
Showman, listen here. I'm gonna say I have a history of Connie. You know I do, and Lord have mercy, she looked good there. See, that's the problem with these here succubi. They look good, and then they lure you in, and then the next thing you know, you tie down, getting your back hair waxed off with the vacuum cleaner coming towards your sphincter muscle. She trying to extract your soul, and you gotta wiggle out of it and escape after she done wax you. Now I ain't falling for that again, Connie.
Now, it almost seems to me that Connie is trying to go after Miss Diana's soul with this.
Oh, she doing something.
Oh,
Oh my!
goodness,
So every
here
time
goes again.
she charging up her powers when she does that. That's how she lured
Miss
you in,
Diana,
Showman,
I
moving like
hope-
that.
I hope you are fine with broken ribs.
That's how she lured you in to marry you, you fool. Moving like that, and you falling for it here. I ain't falling for that, none of that no more. She done defiled the sanctity of my back here once. I ain't falling for that no more here. Like I said, you can
Now,
keep.
Connie, I will say this. Connie has trained around the world with many young and old trainers. Now, I don't know
bet
if
she
training
has.
is all they did, but she has plenty of skill up her skirt.
I know she has hair saw. In fact, I think she's one of the OGs, from my understanding. I mean, she's old enough. Lord have mercy. Oh God, Connie, don't do that.
And here she
Oh,
goes
Connie.
again.
Oh my soul, Connie. I will
One.
not look here. Run, Miss Diana. You just in trouble here.
Now, Miss Diana, if I had to say, your best bet is to just let Connie pin you so you don't have to keep going through this torture.
Yeah, them fingers of hers is greasy and everything too, with them acids like you was talking about, like how it melted her pants and all.
Connie, let me tell you, Connie is greasier than your hands after a family-sized bucket of KFC.
I believe she is the bucket of KFC, so look at her,
And she
Connie.
definitely does look like she put a whole bucket there.
Connie's looking at her like she just sees. I know. I can only imagine what's running through that succubi's mind. She's like, I'm gonna take your
She
soul.
is ready to suck the soul out of this woman.
Miss Diana, you need to run, girl. We need to get medical dispatch here because someone gonna get hurt here, and I know it ain't gonna be Connie, but just in case Miss Diana has a chance here. Oh, you almost had it, Miss Diana. You're so close here.
Come on, Diana. You can do it.
We
Take the
cheering for you.
succubi down.
And while you at it, take them hedge clippers away from her. We like our tallywhackers, Miss Diana here. We had them ever since we was little
my
kids.
Goodness. Miss Diana had a chance and Connie flipped the switch.
Oh, Connie's reversing there with that there drop kick and figure four maneuver, but she missed there. Kind of, because she's getting a little
Connie's
older now.
Alzheimer's started to kick in. She missed completely.
Yes, she did, saw. Connie lured you in with a trap here. Now she going for, oh Lord have mercy, she going for the, she going for her move here.
Oh, Miss Diana with the submission reversal, and that is the best thing you have done this match.
Now the mistake here she made, she should have just ran down that ramp out the arena here. It's with them hedge clippers.
Richard, that is the worst idea. Connie would have followed her up here to us.
But see, if she would have did that, we could have just threw our headsets down and ran as fast as we could, hoping that She just, especially, hopefully she won't get them hedge clippers. I'm worried about
Oh,
my
Diana,
tallywhacker
you are
saw.
playing too much with this woman.
Mr. Peterson, end this here so we can get out of here quickly, because me and Showman will exit stage right here. Looks like Mr.
All right, come on, Miss Diana. Finish the hag. Finish
Finish
the
her off,
hag.
y'all. Send her to the dumpster division, please, so we don't have to crown her as the Empress. That we'll never hear the end of it if she win that, y'all. Connie is so resilient,
Oh my
y'all.
God! And of course, Connie is just hanging on, just like she hangs on to me and leeches off of my bank account.
Yes, so she leads off every man's bank account when she send them text messages. Looks like Miss Diana here is a little younger, and maybe she gonna outlast her just because of the age difference, which is what I'm thinking's happening here. She making a
Now
comeback
she
here.
is doing everything she needs to do. She is fired up. She just needs to put Connie away.
But she can't. Connie is, like I said, she's a succubi from the pits of hell. The pits of hell aren't gonna allow one of their soldiers to fall so easily here.
Well, then we need to have a conversation with them because they are torturing us.
We need to exercise Connie, but I don't know how to do that here. However, maybe we can figure something out here.
Well, we do have a land shark. We have Blaine. We have a proctologist with giant hands. Maybe we can find an exorcist.
Maybe so. However, Mr. Wreck the Wreckham Wrecker, she is kind of in cahoots with him because they held you down and gave you them fingers up there with them gloves and everything.
That is true. They did work together, and the three fingers, the one finger hurt very, very much.
Did you? Yeah,
Look,
I just
Richard,
hope you don't
look,
have
Richard,
to go
if
back.
If you look over here, you can see I am still sitting on this donut.
Yes, sir. He is sitting on a donut sauce. Oh no, Connie eyeballing her. She got evil on her mind here. Miss Diana, see, you should have just ran out. Now she done dropped you on your head, and you probably gonna lose this hell match, and then Connie gonna be in. Oh, Showman,
Now,
if she wins.
Connie is beginning to get hungry, and I can tell because she is trying to turn Miss Diana into a pretzel.
Yes, sir. It's definitely turned her. Miss Diana got some fight in her left here.
She is still going, and Connie is not happy.
I will say, though, that as far as a performer goes, Connie is doing rather well here in this here ring. She is, we know, me and you know she's a monster. We tried to warn the others, but as you can clearly see, she is a force of nature that cannot be reckoned with here. She is probably, if she wins this here match, I think everyone's in trouble in the women's division, because Connie, like I said, she's a succubi from the pits of hell. Y'all don't know what that means.
I will say Connie is akin to a bull in a china shop, and we all know how that goes.
Yes, sir, that's the best description of Connie I ever heard. A bull in a china shop. She break everything she touches, yeah?
And Connie is toying with this woman. She is just not ready to let her go.
Miss Diana gonna go for a finisher. Oh, Lord have mercy. I hope she finishes that succubi. Oh, of course. Miss Connie.
Oh my goodness. The rolls of Connie. Connie rolled out of the way.
I bet she rolls over
she
you like
throws
that
it
in
right
bed
back
every
out.
night here, Shaman.
Now, if you remember, this is what
Oh
I
my
talked
soul,
about
that's
earlier
it.
when
That woman dead.
Yes. Now, if you remember, that was exactly what I was talking about earlier when I said when pigs fly.
Yes, sir. Connie definitely flew. That was the worst fight. That's right. Run, Miss Diana. That's our
Run,
only
Miss
chance.
Diana, run. No, don't go back towards her.
I think she's just so delirious from all them hits to the head there. I think this is
Oh,
it.
dear God. She is in the middle of the ring, and Connie is rolling on top of
Mr.
her.
Peterson got a 1, a 2. Oh, Miss Diana, why? You just torturing yourself. You ain't gonna beat that succubi. If you beat that succubi, I will buy you dinner for a month. I don't want to see her in the Universal Division.
Come on. 1, 2.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, yes. They praise the...
Yes, Miss Diana has defeated the Connie.
Connor, however, put on a hell of a fight, I have to say, but she gonna be pissed. So, Showman, I suggest we grab them hedge clippers real quick. I sent Mr. Peterson, look at them moves, Lord have mercy. I sent
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Peterson a
Richard,
text.
if you could see the eyes that Connie are giving me from her backside right now, we need to go.
Yes, so I'm going to send Mr. Peterson a quick text here because he's on his cell phone here. He going to grab them hedge clippers out the way so we kind of don't get those. And then we're going to run as fast as we can. I say we find Mr. Payne or someone to distract her or some such, and then we get out of here. So I got to go here now quickly before that woman gets up here. So I'll see you later. Enjoyed episode 2. Have a good one.
Richard. Be safe.